Ladies and gentlemen, Garfield and friends.
We're ready to party! We're ready. I hope you bring lots of spaghetti.
I'm scared. Come on in, come to the place where fun never ends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and friends. Dancing,
Fiesta,
romancing,
siesta,
samba,
la bamba, ay caramba, disguises, surprises, and pies of all sizes.
Come on in, come to the place where fun never ends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and friends. Come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and friends. Garfield and friends.
And pay attention. There'll be a test at the end.
Ah, shit! Hello everybody. Hello. It's another Expand Dong stream. Featuring me, Reeee! Big ups to the swollen ones who are here in advance. We already have him complaining in the chat. You may have seen me post his postings just now. He's just replying, it is if you're on a time frame to eat the meal and you have places to be, but they keep bringing you shitty palate cleansers and apps instead of the great main course. He's debunking the food analogies someone made earlier. My complaint about Zelda is not too many side quests at all. It's too much bloated content that adds nothing and lack of proper pacing, direction, completely different. Wow, you debunk him with the food analogy and he's like already prepared. He already has one. Like, it's on deck. He has it ready to go to debunk you right back. Let me read this one more time. Complaining about Zelda is not too many typecasts at all. Wait, no. You're on a time frame to eat... Wait, so the Goat Man says, complaining about too much content in Zelda is like complaining about getting too much food at the restaurant. It's not really a bad thing. And DSP says, it is a bad thing if you're on a time frame to eat the meal and you have places to be. But they keep bringing you shitty palate cleansers and appetizers instead of the great main course. It's bloated, has nothing, lack of proper pacing direction. You can't take game content to go. You have to do it during the playthrough, so the analogy doesn't hold up. So when he makes food analogies, it makes sense and it's completely okay. But when you make a food analogy, he gets to debunk it and poke all these holes in it, and it doesn't count actually. And if he made a food analogy about a restaurant, like, I don't know, the sandwich shop analogy, and you were like, oh, what if I took the sandwich home to go? He'd be like, oh, that's stupid. It's just an analogy. We're not actually at a restaurant. But he gets to say your analogy doesn't count because he can take the food home. And he can't take food home during the playthrough because he's already at home and he doesn't go anywhere. What does that mean? I don't even know! Hello Peaches, hello Trashman, hello Rydrake, Tribot, UNFW1, the unfun one, Bashe, Green Lobster, Jay Frosty, Oh, Brian. The sandwich shop makes perfect sense. Yeah, of course it does. You know what? You can bring the Switch on the go. The Switch technically can be taken on the go. Hey, Rogeezy. You can take the Switch on the go, so it literally is like if you got your food to go. Hello, Doomer Ziggy. We're chilling out until he starts talking. Who knows when that'll be? I chose this specific time to go live, so we'd have enough wiggle room. Because he could be live anytime between now and 1:10. But now that people have brought it up to him in the chat, he's gonna bring up these dumbass analogies. Yeah. I didn't see the Zelda anything from Zelda yesterday. I don't think I missed much. He just complained about how long the game is getting. From what I've heard. This is your fault. You think Zelda's long? Talk about Final Fantasy? Talk about Diablo? Hasn't played that in a week? I gotta pick on Nintendo specifically. This is a symptom of all the games you're playing. Oh no, he's still talking. My favorite part about all this is that outright said the playthrough would be just like this if the game was really 100 hours, and people demanded I play it anyway, but somehow I'm in the wrong. Okay, BRB, Restream, and then we begin. People demanded that I play it. Okay. You didn't have to play Final Fantasy, or people weren't demanding that you play Diablo. You actually needed like 10 polls to decide if you wanted to play that. Hey, Templar. Ah, yes, I foresaw in the future that I would be a cranky little so-and-so about it. Maybe you should change your behavior then? Maybe you should be more positive. He's just mad that he didn't get to the 4th temple yesterday. Hey, Spinky Joe. I can't wait. I can't wait. We're gonna hear it all. Don't get me wrong, I love the game, but as it is bloated. It's like you're at a restaurant and they just give you, oh my god, all the appetizers, appetizer after appetizer, and you're like, where's the fucking course being? I'm over here like, the only course I care about is the ones in Mario Kart. Ba-bum-ba. Big ups to everyone. Who knows when he'll start? Why he doesn't use the restroom before he starts the pre-stream music? I'll never have a... I'll never know. Ain't lying. Yeah, where does he have to be? What is he doing? It doesn't count because I have places to be, so your restaurant analogy falls flat. You actually don't have places to be, Pimp. It's like if they promised you garlic bread, and they came out with buttered toast. What the fuck is that? He's being told, and he's not being corrected on this, because no one in his chat has played the game. He thinks he's gonna do the dungeon, and then whatever if final dungeon is after that, and that's like, okay, end of the game. Wrong! It's hilarious that he thinks he's this close to beating it. I see this mentality all the time when he gets it in his head, in the back of his head, back of his neck, back of his mind, that he's close to beating the game, regardless of whether he actually is or not. It's just in his head he thinks he is, so we get this mentality to rush, beat the game, 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 beat the game. Doesn't matter if he's actually close enough to beating it or not, and that's why that's when we'll get shit like, oh, this is the probable conclusion stream, and then he never beats the game at the end of these probable conclusion streams, leading to even crabbier DSP segments and even more probable conclusion streams. It's just him at his worst. Absolute. Like, it's full mask off whenever that cycle of... reach that cycle of Phil. To my knowledge, he has a 4th dungeon. Hey, I see him. Look, it's this Fraga slide. As soon as Fraga pointed it out, I couldn't unsee it. And I don't... well, I said I see him. I don't see him literally, but I see what he's got underneath. Look, you can see his overlay. I was saying from the leak he wouldn't like the game. Everyone wants. When does this start? The schedule says 10:45, but it's almost 11:10. Get the goat man out of here. That's twice now he's trolled the chat. Get him out of here, Phil. I can tell this guy's gonna be a massive problem. When I play a real song on my stream during the starting screen, I usually go to the bathroom, grab a drink in those 3 to 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's been more than 3 minutes for Phil. Like, what is he doing? Is he kissing his wife goodbye? It's like Dr. Oink. Like, you get a guy named Dr. Oink in your chat. Come on, that guy should have been gone 20 minutes ago. The Goat Man? Really? The Goat Man. We're gonna let the Goat Man stay in the chat. I don't know about that. If that was me, that chat would be locked up, like Alcatraz. Yeah, it's like a farm. It's like a Miri's farm. So the best kind of farm. No, better yet, it's like a zoo. The zoo he never goes to. Got a cavalcade of animals. We have a pig. We have a goat. We have a cat. We have a horse. Teehee. No, I already have her on the overlay. I can't, like, pretend she doesn't exist. Yeah, we had a panda, but then we had to transfer the panda to the other zoo. Like, it got sick. You can barely see her, she's hiding. Wait, isn't that exactly what I've done? Then I get bombarded with comments about how I rushed through, didn't do 80% of the quests, and missed out on so much side stuff. Awesome Kamaro says 99% of the population are not streamers. The unnecessary bloat shit that adds no meaning doesn't apply to anybody else. People actually enjoy that content and find meaning in it. Whoa, buddy. Debunked! And then Phil slaps him with the, isn't that exactly what I've done? Then I get bombarded with comments about how I rushed through, didn't do 80% of the quests, and missed out on so much side stuff. The problem is, Nintendo fans are just so demanding. If I played Zelda in any method other than a painstaking 100-hour playthrough, taking in everything, I must be doing it wrong, and the playthrough sucks! And that's a problem. I should be able to play and enjoy however I want! Where are the Nintendo fans saying this to him? I'm not saying shit. Who are the Nintendo fans in his chat? Name one person in his chat that's like, you would look at that person and you're like, okay, that's a Nintendo fan. And it can't be me, because I'm not in his chat for Zelda. I haven't even played it myself. I can't even, like, sneak diss or handhold. Alright, he's ready to talk. He's all heated up. He's all heated up. He had that debunk. He got debunked to his face, and he's like, you know what? Let me just start the stream. Tired of this shit. As always, I'm only going to be doing the pre-stream. I will be live on Twitch later. Everyone love the Clock Tower Twitch stream, so I'm going to be running it back and trying for another ending. Luckily, I was able to get my morning situations situated. No slots today. We hate slotted. Slotting is banned. Need our July bonus money to kick in. Back. So we'll do an evening thing on Twitch. Yeah, turn up. Hey, Trunks. Right, Trunks? Yeah, he didn't do the false open. Where's the cold open? That Ansa Kamaro comments living rent-free.
Alrighty, good morning, everyone.
Look, he was typing in his chat while the intro movie was playing. Dude, he's heated. He's heated. I've never seen him argue while the intro's playing.
Welcome to a new border. This may look similar to the old one, but you may not notice is that there's a tweak. We got someone new. Who's that
The
handsome
movie's
fellow
playing
down there?
and he's
That's
still
right, that's
arguing.
Clive
I've
from
never
Final Fantasy
seen
16
that.
has been added to our podcast border. In fact, I have another one too. I'd like to give you a little preview. I'll be using this one later on. You ready for this?
What is this shit? What is this shit? It's called a
Final
scene,
Fantasy
Dave.
Villains, antagonists. How cool is that? But
I don't
we'll be
notice the
using them in the
difference.
future. I just wanted to show you. Got a few new pieces of artwork for the streams. I hope you're all doing well and having a great weekend. Hello.
His shit makes me feel so much better about my own.
What's going on? I don't know what is going on.
Oh, what is he
Well,
thinking
we're in
about?
the midst of a very busy gaming week.
Ah.
Today is essentially the 4th streaming day for me out of a 7-day stream week.
I love
So today is the
7-day stream
equivalent of
weeks,
my
but I
Wednesday.
love 5-day stream weeks more.
A little weird because it's Sunday, but you understand what I'm saying. It is the middle day of the week. Today is an all RPG day.
I like
meaning our
this
first stream
waffling
will be
around
Final
he's doing.
Fantasy,
It means
and
he's stinking.
the late
He's
stream
got
will be
stuff in
Diablo
his
4,
head.
Excuse me.
Hey, Star Wars nerd.
And we'll talk about the schedule in just a second.
He knows how
I
scenes
also
work.
today on
I
the
know he
podcast
does.
Would like to go in depth. Now that I am 40 hours into Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Shit.
I've been playing this game
Shit.
for
I
over
picked
a
the
month.
right day.
And I want to relay my feelings about the playthrough, my feelings about the game
He's
at
feeling
large,
attacked.
and quite frankly, my feelings about the reaction that I've gotten.
What
to my
reaction?
playthrough and
Oh,
or my
no.
feelings about the
The
game.
working wine.
Because I hate to say it, in the modern day, it really feels to me like we're in a place where games have changed. The internet's
Amiri,
changed,
why you
opinions
post
have
that shit?
changed, and I honestly, I'm telling you this up front before we even start talking about Zelda. I like the game a lot.
Yeah,
actually
dude,
happy I
Peaches.
played it, and I'm
Peaches
having a
is
good time with it.
literally
Last
what you
night, actually,
said.
the
I
last
mean,
hour of
anyone
last
could have
night was
predicted
really
that.
cool. I had a great time that last
I
hour
like the
last
game.
night where we made
I
tons
like
of
the game,
progress and
guys,
the big
but
plot
no
reveal
guts.
happened, and I was like, ooh, that was neat. After having played that long to finally get the big plot reveal, I was like, ooh, I like that, right? But at the same time,
Nintendo is
it
not
almost
immune
feels
from
like-
criticism.
in 2023, God forbid you play a video game that's a major game that, you know, it seems there's a consensus that people really like it, and you say anything critical about it, not even necessarily just negative, like slamming the game, but even trying to be honest and transparent.
I love when
with an
he
audience
uses the
about your
current year
feelings about it.
argument.
It's like you can't be
Seven
anymore.
was playing some
'Cause
stuff
if you
from the
are,
Final
oh, God,
Fantasy
you-
VII
well, you're
playthrough,
just
which is
against
such
the
a.
norm. You're
It
going
feels
against
like
the
so
grain.
long
You don't
ago.
agree with everyone
It
else.
was really
Yeah,
just
you're right.
2020.
In life, that
But I
happens a
suppose
lot.
that is a long time ago.
In life, that happens
Yeah,
where people have different
factor in
experiences
the shit
based on
that's happened
different
since
things
then.
in their lives and their
He's
own
over
gaming
there like
perspectives
making
and things like that.
2020 the modern
And I hate
era.
to say it, but it just seems to me like people don't seem to respect other people's opinions anymore. We'll talk about that today on the show because I am going to go in depth about my Zelda Tears of the Kingdom playthrough and feelings.
I think there's
and
stuff
I
about
guarantee
you
you're going to see
that people don't respect.
backlash against the things that I have to say,
Beyond
regardless
just
of
your
the fact that I
opinions
should have the
about
right to say it.
games.
All right. And by the way, again, I got to say this up front. I don't hate Zelda. I actually really like the game. It's just that I'm not in love with it. I don't think it's a flawless masterpiece.
What
and God
games
forbid that I
is he
say
in
that
love?
on the internet because I get
I know you're
slammed
gonna say
by a
Street Fighter
community
2,
that just
but in the
loves
now.
having their fucking lips on Nintendo's ass, quite frankly. But that'll be a big segment of the show. Outside of that, you know, everything
I
else
haven't
rolls
even
on.
played this
I am
fucking
excited
game yet,
today
man.
to see where Final Fantasy 16 goes after having played 5 hours of the game. We're in the midst of a big
Can
like
we
dungeon
complain about
crawl.
the
We
other
actually
games you're
got to the end of a
playing?
dungeon
I
and
feel
run
like
into
you're not
Benedicta.
complaining
There was
about
a big
those
2v1
enough.
boss fight which I almost lost and then I kind of came back from and won,
Red Animator.
which is excellent. And now I'm curious how this is going to end because we kind of ended on a cliffhanger last time we played.
I don't think he gets
Tonight
how.
on Diablo, it's kind of a similar situation where last time I
I
played
say
Diablo
this.
4, we were nearing the very
There's such a
end of
thing
Act
as not
2. And
fanboying
tonight
for
I'm
a
curious to
game.
see
Like, that's
how
his
that
main
will pan
argument.
out,
But
if we
there's
will
also
actually
the
finish
other
Act 2
extreme
tonight,
where you just
and possibly,
unnecessarily
you know, move on to
overhate
Act
on
3, which is a
something.
new area of the map. We'll see.
And that's what he
But,
does
good
with
stuff today,
Nintendo stuff,
and a
and
good
that's why
streaming week
people
coming
call
up.
him out on
I do
that.
want to forewarn all of you.
Like, he's just always targeting Nintendo.
My allergies have
and it's
finally
went
kicked
back.
in. I don't know if it was like
it
delayed
goes back
action
all the
this
way
year or
to the
whatever
Wii
it
U,
was.
basically.
But my allergies this week really did kick in. So I woke
And
up
it's
this
never
morning,
really
get this,
changed.
My eyes are puffy and watery. I have full post-nasal drip going down the back of my throat, and my throat is itchy. And I'm like, oh, it's like 3 classic symptoms of allergies all happening at once. I'm like, oh, this sucks ass. So when I went downstairs to have my
I didn't play Breath
my
of the
breakfast,
Wild,
I popped the
by shame,
Zyzol,
so I'm
one
not
of
gonna
the
play Tears of
allergy
the
medications
Kingdom.
I got on the
At
cheap
least
when
now.
I went to Bed Bath and Beyond
working my way up.
a little over a week ago, and I was like, well, I hope this works seriously because, you know, all gunked up. And I can tell you, it is working a little. I can
I'm
feel a little bit of
gunked
the
up,
pressure. My
guys.
sinus pressure is going down. It does feel like the post-nasal drip is drying
Looks like
up a
he's a
little bit, so that's
machine.
good. But man, so
They're
today,
gunking up
if
the
I don't sound
gears.
great, if my voice is cracking or if my voice ends up sounding hoarse or whatever, you know what's going on. This happened yesterday too, is where I really noticed it in a major way. Of course, yesterday ends up being my react stream when I got to talk the whole time, and I'm like, oh shit, this kind of sucks, but bad timing.
This right here, just move it back. Move it back like you did
But that's
a couple
life,
weeks
right?
ago.
So anyway, I
And
got
that's
the meds
life,
in
right?
me.
Yeah, I guess.
And hopefully they kick in soon.
That's life when you just
it
boot up
won't
a
be an issue
stream
for
and
today.
the streamer you're watching
Alright,
just shits on a publisher
let's go through the
like.
gaming schedule.
Just games you like.
So you know what to expect every day for the rest of the week, because this is still 4 more days of streaming this week, which I know is abnormal, but we're going to get a good amount of gameplay in this week. So today it's Final Fantasy 16 continuing on, 3 hours of gameplay. You know, excited, interested to see where the game goes. I'm being told this game is mostly linear. That yeah, there will be some options to choose what you do later on in the playthrough.
That's why he likes
but
it more
as of
than
now,
Zelda.
It's going to remain linear. So 3 hours.
I'm being told it doesn't have an open
world.
world. This is good.
Through dungeons and combat. So we'll see how that goes today. I hope it's good. Like I said, we kind of.
I come back to this dude about Final Fantasy about 80 hours in.
We were near the very end of this dungeon. We had just beaten a big
I don't know,
boss
guys.
fight,
I think
Like,
Square has lost their way.
You were chasing Benedicta, and then time ran out, and I was like, well, what are you gonna do? So now we're back, and excited to see how that continues on today. And then tonight with Diablo, yes, I'm curious to see how Act 2 continues and possibly concludes. Also, you know, it's nice that this is another day away from Street Fighter.
They told them to go to Act 3 like
weeks
weeks ago.
Day. As you know, when I play Street Fighter, that's the opposite, right? Like when I play Street Fighter, my adrenaline is on max. My nerves are on max. I tend to get peeved and frustrated when something doesn't go my way, and I get very angry at the game or at the situation in general.
I'm sorry, guys, if I seemed real mean yesterday. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get.
You already knew that.
I do feel like I am getting better. It's a slow climb, but I am getting better with particular characters like Blanca.
Blanca.
But there's no real time for interaction there. Like, when am I gonna have time to sit down and have a discussion with you guys when I'm playing Street Fighter 6? I don't. So it's good to have days like today where we're breaking stuff up, and therefore it's not always in a situation where I can't talk with you. I like having more interactions on my stream and more chill gameplay. So that's today. That's what today's all about. RPGs, opportunity for interaction. Okay. Tomorrow will be Street Fighter 6, and tomorrow Street Fighter 6
I care about right now is
I think what I'm gonna do is tonight I'm gonna watch some videos of Zangief and possibly Lily. I'm gonna try to find some top player videos from like the last week and watch and see if I can learn any strategies or things that these guys are doing.
At least we're being honest about watching guides now.
Dash cancels with both characters, because at this point
one of the
I'm ready
games
to learn
he's
dash cancels with all the characters I'm using, and I actually
I'm
don't know much
watching
about what
guides,
dash cancels are good with either
you guys
one.
know.
So,
you guys know that. I've never shied from admitting
tonight
that.
I'll give it a look. I'll see what I can find on YouTube, and hopefully apply that gameplay tomorrow in a variety Street Fighter 6 stream. Maybe half Lily, half Zangief. We'll see. I'm debating who to start with. If I start with Zangief, let me see how it goes. If I'm doing well, then I'll continue with Zangief the whole stream. We'll figure it out on the fly. Okay? Then tomorrow night, with the continuation of Zelda. So there'll be more Zelda tomorrow. The good news is it seems like we are heading into the end game of Zelda. We have one more major dungeon to do.
No, everyone's telling me that he's not.
Dungeon,
he's not.
To wrap up the playthrough.
Who is telling him this?
It looks like Zelda, of all the games in my rotation, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will likely be the one that I complete first within another maybe week to 2 weeks. And once that's done, then we can put something else into that spot. Whether it's a whole new game, whether it's maybe doing the World Tour mode of Street Fighter 6, which people have been asking for and I just don't have time to do right now. Whatever it may be, we'll have something new added in there so that there.
You like how when he goes on these, because he did this yesterday too, or the day before, where he kind of recaps where he last was in Zelda and what he's gonna do in the next segment of Zelda, and he absolutely doesn't know. So he kind of waffles with these vague keywords about what he's doing and where he might be going.
Where I want to maybe try Chun-Li again.
And then he does the stream, and the next stream where he's trying to hype up the next Zelda stream, it's the same shit with the same vague, generalized keywords.
So, you know, between another 2 streams this week, perhaps we'll finish up the 4th region of the map, the Gerudo Desert. Maybe we'll beat the dungeon, and then we can move into the end game for next week, which would be great if that were the case. Okay? So, there you go. That's the schedule for the rest of the week. Now, keep in mind, next week, very special event coming up on Sunday, July 2nd. That is 1 week from
hello,
today.
Anli.
So that means next weekend's going to be interesting. We're going to have the React show on Saturday, and then we're going to have all day Sunday.
I just think it's funny how no one is correcting him.
DSP, or Digital Summer Party.
No one, like, there are people in there that have played the game, and they're not even telling him, Phil, actually, you're wrong. You have actually this much of the game left.
Party-like vibe. There'll be some special festivities planned for the day, which I will not spoil yet. But in addition to that, we're going to be going through the schedule for the entirety of the year, listing all the new release
if
games
he
and the
did
release
that,
dates, and
Peaches,
picking out
people would
individually which ones
complain
I'll
that
be
he's
playing at launch,
derailing.
and which ones maybe will have to go
Debunked.
on the back burner
Hello, Cerulean.
and say, let's wait for those, and which ones I'm not interested in. So by that day, 1 week from today, everyone, including myself, will now have a new perspective on games coming out this year and which ones I'm covering, for my
Well,
schedule.
Phil, I thought you were
In
supposed to
addition,
be recapping the
we're gonna be
schedule.
doing some
Now you're going on a
tier
tangent
rankings,
about
including
Zelda.
American Fair Food
It's because
and
you
other
hate
things.
Nintendo
In addition to
Zelda?
that, there'll probably be some Street Fighter 6 gameplay for variety. Also, food. My wife will be making multiple different recipes for a mukbang slash, feasting with
Mukbang,
Phil
whatever you wanna
series of
call it.
videos over the course of the day.
No,
That will
whatever
be
you want to
fun,
call
obviously.
it. Whatever you want to call it. I didn't
Among
say
maybe
it.
other things, let's play it by ear,
Among
but
the
there's
many
a
other
lot
such
of
things, and the
potential
like.
of fun things that we can do during this marathon event all day next Sunday. So I hope that you guys will join me next
By the
Sunday
way, I
for the
think
big
someone
party
pointed
here
out the
on
thing
DSP
about
Gaming.
DSP reacting to a
And
guy
that
explaining
content will
credit
be
and
split
debit card
up
usage.
to be
I
uploaded
also
amongst,
saw the guy who made
stuff
that
here on
video
this channel
reacted
versus
to
stuff
him
over on
and
DSP
made
Reacts.
fun of him
I
and
would
called
think
him an
the
e-begging
food
scammer.
vlogs
So
and
basically what I
the
wanted Jim
tier
Sterling
maker
to do
videos fit
actually
perfectly
happened,
over on DSP
but with
Reacts.
another guy's video.
Meanwhile,
And I went ahead and
things like the
uploaded a
game
pertinent
schedule
clip that some
and
people
the Street
got
Fighter
from
6
2018
gameplay
on how he
obviously
wrecked
fit
up his
here.
depths.
So
Big ups.
there you have it. Let's see how it goes over the week. I hope you guys will join me on Sunday of next week if you can make it for a big party-like atmosphere and a special way to start the gaming summer. All right, then we will continue on with all of my current playthroughs until stuff starts wrapping up. In July, there absolutely will be some new playthroughs. I'm leaning towards Pikmin 4 and another one. The thing is, I want to do the gaming schedule next week before I promise you guys what I'll be playing. So let's not get
I
ahead
thought
of
he doesn't pay
ourselves,
attention to what
but
games are
that's
coming
coming,
out.
Okay, and then the other big event that's going to happen in July, which is going to probably happen in the second half of July, is a special Machinima themed event. June the
Shit.
King just made a documentary about Machinima that's about 50 minutes long. And
At
I'd
least
like
he's
to
not
watch it
making
and
you
live
pay
react
for
to
it.
it because I'm one of the few YouTubers who was a longtime partner of Machinima. Over 6 years I was with that company.
All right, tell us about
until
the
finally
emails.
I severed
The
ties,
emails?
for a pretty bad reason. We had a pretty bad falling out. And I'd like to talk about all of that and add my own perspective, but I've got all these unique stories and interesting
perspective slash
information I can
viewpoint.
add because I was such a longtime partner with Machinima that would add to the documentary that June made, and it's going to basically be a special event. I'm not sure what we should call it yet. Some people were like the funeral for Machinima. Some people were like the exhumation of Machinima. It's weird because Machinima's been dead for years. They've been gone, and having someone actually formally do a documentary was something rare. Like no one had really covered the story before June did.
Oh yeah.
And now
June
for me
was
to
a
add in my
pioneer.
own perspective and additional content and all this new stuff you probably had no
I
idea even
outlasted
existed.
another
It's gonna be
one,
a very
yeah.
interesting event. Spartanius one says, what about the Machinima Massacre? Oh yeah, maybe we can call it that. DSP's Machinima Massacre. Why not? That sounds pretty good. The Machinima Massacre or something similar to that. Because essentially that's what it is. We're basically putting this behind and burying it. It's something that I haven't really talked about in one concerted effort.
Concerted
right?
effort?
Like over the years, I've talked about my working with Machinima and the ups and downs and how chaotic and almost bipolar that company acted in a lot of cases. But I've never really
You're bipolar,
talked about it in one
motherfucker. You
place.
wanna talk
It's always
about
been
being
every once in a
bipolar.
while in a vlog, Phil will mention Machinima or in Ask the King or whatever. But this will be one concerted, everything focused, concentrated at once. It'll be neat, to say the least. All right, so that's coming up.
This is gonna be
probably
his Howard
in
and
mid to late
Rambo for
July,
this year.
A special event. All right,
It's around the same
And
time
then
frame too.
in August/September, my 15th anniversary event, where I'm celebrating 15 years as a content creator. There's going to be retrospectives.
Look at
There's
this,
going
he's
to be
loving
retro
this shit. The
playthrough
easy,
gameplay. There's gonna
the
be
easy lined
all
up
kinds
events.
of fun stuff coming up for that
That
event.
stuff's
trust
gonna
me.
roll
It should be
into.
really neat.
It's gonna
So-
carry him to October, the easy Halloween event, the Thanksgiving event,
All
the
right,
Christmas
cool.
event. There you go. There's your
The
year.
continual downfall of Wings. Oops, I mean Machinima. That'd be an interesting name for the event, but I don't think that would apply. I don't think that would apply fully. All right. Anyway, Adam is asking, can I donate a PS3? Please, if you want to talk to me about that stuff, please email me. darksidephil@hotmail.com. We can talk about that kind of stuff behind the scenes. I don't want to publicly talk about donations or anything like that. Doesn't make sense. All you're gonna
You
do is
do,
rile up
though. They're
trolls and
called
stuff. You know what I
tips.
mean?
Okay,
So
okay.
we'll talk about that off camera. If you want to email me, we'll talk about it
fucking
behind the
loser,
scenes
man.
and go from there. By the way,
Dude has a PS3.
something to show you guys. Hold on. So,
What's he doing?
as you guys know, I play a lot of games on my Xbox Series X.
Thought I was gonna say his phone.
I use rechargeable batteries. Well, I've been using them for about 2 straight years.
They broke?
And finally,
They died.
over the course of this week, one of the batteries isn't really working anymore. Like, I'll plug it and it'll charge, but then when I go to use it, it dies.
You know what?
in
We
like
saw
30
this
minutes.
live
This happened
yesterday.
yesterday.
It happened, yeah.
On my React stream.
It happened twice within
And
like 10 minutes.
basically, it says, oh, your battery's dead. Okay, let me swap. So I swapped to the other battery, which I always have charged. And by the end of
Him
the
always
the
having
stream, it
something
said, oh, your battery's
charged?
dead.
I don't
was like,
believe
what?
that. Unless it's its
That was
laptop.
like 30 minutes. So what that means is one of those batteries, the memory in it has been shot and isn't really working properly anymore, and it's just not charging anymore. You know, I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, I don't know how long the battery life is for these kind of rechargeable batteries. It's kind of weird that one of the batteries seems perfectly
memory
fine
of
and
the
works great, and the
battery.
other one is messed up. But it's not
It's
like I
called
spent a lot of money on
overcharging
these.
the
This is something
battery.
I
You're not
bought
supposed
on a
to
whim
leave
2
something
years ago.
plugged
When I got
in.
my Xbox Series X, it was kind of a surprise because a fan donated it. And
Why,
I just
when you
went to the
charge
store,
your
it was like
phone,
Target, and they just happen to
and
have
it reaches
battery pack there, and
100%,
I think it was like 40
they
bucks.
like
so I
beg you
bought
to
it.
unplug it.
And it lasted about 2 years. But I was like, I guess it's time to get a new one. So last night I ordered off, rush order off Amazon. I got a new play and charge kit. It's kind of generic. I don't even know the name of the company. I don't even know what the name of the company's on here.
This shit.
It's literally just play and charge kit for Xbox One and
How much
Xbox
extra did
Series
he pay for
controllers.
Rush?
It literally doesn't even
Rush
have a brand
order.
name on it. It really doesn't. All right, so basically,
Don't worry, you guys. I live like
I got
right
new
next
batteries.
to the
I'm charging
warehouse.
them right now. So tonight, when we play Diablo, I'll be testing out this battery for the very first time.
That doesn't look like Power A
Cheap,
or
23 bucks off Amazon.
or the other
So
brands.
actually, about
You know the
half price
brands,
of
the
what I
ones
paid
you
for the
see
Play
at
and Charge kit
Walmart
2
and
years ago.
GameStop.
And they work with both Xbox One.
I've
and
never
Xbox
seen
Series
that
S
brand.
and X
It's looking a bit
controllers. It just has
Chinese to
different,
me, Reeee.
like door. Like to show you what I mean. So there's your Xbox controller. There's the back. And there's your battery door. And there's your rechargeable battery pack. So that's one of the new packs, not charged yet. I just put it in there to see if it would fit. And they give you 2 size doors to put on your controller. One fits the Xbox One and one fits the Xbox Series S and X. So this is the one for the S and X.
Wow.
And it literally just pops right on top. And you can charge it by plugging it in there. You could also have a dock. You know, you have those charging docks you could put it on. Or you could unplug it and plug it. You can actually just plug it in like manually as well.
You like this mini review?
there's
like this is a
different
new
ways to do
product
it,
that
but
just came
that's
out
how
that
I do
nobody
it.
else
I buy
has
these
used.
2 battery packs, and the way
Bill's
I
got
do it
the
is,
inside scoop.
I don't plug it in directly with the controller. Right now, the other battery pack is charging right now. So what I do is I
Interesting.
always have one charging and I have one ready to go in
Wow.
the controller. That way you have 2 that you alternate between. So that's what I'm going to start doing.
I'm
The other
taking
ones I have
notes,
are
man.
green, which is weird. Like, I don't know why they were green. These are black, so they actually blend into the controller a little better, except the battery door covers they give you are black, but the back of my controller is white, so it doesn't really match it, but I'm not going to nitpick. Who gives a shit about the color of the controller, right? I don't need it to be aesthetically perfect. As long as I don't have to keep buying AA batteries, so
That
I'm gonna let
mentality
you know how
explains
these
a lot
work
about the shit you
once
do
they start
for your
working.
stream.
Right now, it's still charging. I assume the
Cares
first
a lot
charge
about
will take a while.
aesthetics, right?
So later today when I play Diablo will be the first time I use these battery packs, and I'm going to keep using it, you know, for other games and playthroughs moving forward. So I'll be able to tell you exactly what I think. What's funny though is the only game I'm playing right now would be Diablo, because you think Zelda's on Switch, Street Fighter I'm using my joystick and not a gamepad, and Final Fantasy's on PS5. So actually the only game right now I'm actively using these batteries for would be Diablo.
And reacting.
Anyway, just throwing that out there. And I'll obviously let you know once I start using it actively how these batteries work. It just says play and charge. I don't even know the name of the company. I wish I could like say, hey, I'll let you know a product review later, but it doesn't even have a name on it. It's seriously that generic. 23 bucks on Amazon.
Now you got ripped off.
Okay, so all right, folks, let's get to the meat of it. I want to talk. By the way, thank you. Some people have
Oh,
tipped
yeah,
and someone
here it
super
comes.
chatted. I will give you full
They
shout
get
outs at the end
cozy.
of the show as always. Shout outs
TV.
come and the near the second half of the podcast. What I'd like to do is get into the meat of what I want to talk about today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now 40 hours in.
Oh,
Someone
no.
just said, "Why are my pants blue?" Because these
No,
are my
yeah,
Zelda
distract
Breath
them.
of the Wild
Distract
pants.
them a bit longer.
Because I'm a fan of goddamn Zelda, and I wear Zelda pants. See? So you all made fun of me. You made fun of me, a 41-year-old gamer on TikTok, and you said I'm a horrible gamer because I don't understand the lightning mechanic of Zelda. But I'm a fan. I have Zelda pants. Do you have Zelda pants? I didn't think so. You don't have Zelda pants. You don't have the right to say that my issues with the lightning are invalid because you're not wearing Zelda pants. I'm insulated from your bullshit because I wear Zelda pants. You see? Anyway, so I am officially, as of now, 40 hours into Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
Now, what's funny is everyone told me the game's 100 hours long, yet, according to people watching the playthrough, they're like, so here's the deal. You have one major dungeon left, the Gerudo Desert Dungeon, which will take a while to do because, like all these major dungeons, you have, like, a storyline around it.
He
before
went
you
in
can
expecting
access
a
the dungeon, and then you
100-hour
have the dungeon
story.
itself. So I'm assuming probably 4 more hours
He
there.
he looked at the
maybe to get through
completionist
Gerudo
hour.
area. Then apparently, after I wrap up that dungeon, there's one final area of the game that will open up, and that's kind of the finale. So even if you say that finale's another 4 hours, I mean, that's about 48 hours, I'm done with the game. All right? So then where does the 100 hours come in?
Look at this.
Well, 100 hours comes
Complaint
in because
number
this game
one.
has such an
My
insane amount of
viewers
content
lied.
that
They
if you
lied. They
actually
made
have
me
the
think
time
the story
to
was
fully
100
explore
hours.
and extrapolate and do everything that's in the game.
I want you to
Alright?
call the
You
viewers
basically
liars.
could spend 100 hours in it.
I'm
and
already
you could,
gonna be
you
done
know,
with the
have
game.
a lot of meaningful time in that. But for me, someone
yeah,
who
that's what
I've
happens
been
when you skip
balancing
everything.
this game with other playthroughs, as you know, and someone who I knew this month of June was going to be incredibly hectic for new releases.
And
between
he's
Street Fighter
upset about
6,
that argument
which
he
was
had
gonna take up
before
a ton of
stream.
my time,
If you guys
and
were not
Diablo,
here
which
for
was
the
gonna take up
pre-stream,
some of my time, and now
well,
with
this
Final
is the
Fantasy
pre-stream.
16
Before
out,
the pre-stream, when he was
I
playing
knew
music, he was
I was
arguing
not gonna
with
be
people
able
in
to
the
really
chat
be
about
focused on
Zelda.
Zelda. I even told you guys when I started with
They
Zelda
were making
last
food
month, I
analogies at him.
warned
He was
everyone.
debunking the
Said for a
food
game that
analogies. Only he
everyone
can
is
make food
describing as being an
analogies.
insanely lengthy and insanely content-heavy game. You have to understand that there's other things coming out that are going to end up being priority. First of all, just to be honest, I don't have a mainstream Nintendo viewer base.
But just don't play Nintendo
I really
games.
don't.
Like, just take the L.
People who like to watch
Nobody
people
cares.
who are Nintendo gamers aren't coming
Watch
to
me
DSP
for
gaming
Nintendo
to watch me play
games.
this game, right? They're just not. In fact, when I play Nintendo games, I find it's more of a niche style playthrough where I'll get a certain group of my viewers, but not all of them. And a
I
lot
wonder
of people,
why
for
that
some
is,
reason,
Phil.
just don't like Nintendo
Why-
games.
why don't
and
Nintendo
always skip
fans
whenever
like
I play.
Phil's
Even Nintendo
content?
games that I'm absolutely loving every aspect of, like Super Mario Odyssey. People would tell me, "Oh, you're wrong. It's not that good. And why are you playing this kiddie game?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Nintendo games are not kiddie games." Some
He
people
has to be
still
contrarian.
very,
Odyssey
very
was
unfairly
good,
and
but he
erroneously
can't get over
categorize
that
all
people
Nintendo
like
games as
Breath of the
kiddie
Wild
games.
more.
And
He
don't
just
wanna
doesn't
watch
get
me
it.
play 'em for some odd
And Odyssey
reason.
was like
So
5
weird.
years
I
ago.
love
Yeah.
first-party Nintendo games. I just don't get that kind of prejudice against them. It's kind of irrational in my opinion. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah, your fans are the ones that
you
are
know,
irrational
knowing
against Nintendo.
well that I don't have a mainstream viewer base of Nintendo gamers, and that if I play Zelda, it's going to end up being a game that's going to be a late night chill stream. There's no way this could continue to be a daytime stream because it's not going to get mainstream style support.
The thing
you know what I'm
is,
saying?
the guy he was arguing
I
with
very
was
well
right.
knew what was gonna
Not
happen,
everyone
that
is
this
a
month, as
variety
soon as the new
streamer.
releases
Normal
hit,
people,
Zelda
normal
was gonna
people
take
that
a
are just
backseat,
normal
Zelda was gonna get played
gamers
a lot less.
don't
I was
have to
probably gonna
just
have
complain about the
streamline
game.
My playthrough to focus in on the more important things.
People
in the
that
game.
don't force
And
themselves
therefore,
to play
there was
every
no way my playthrough was gonna
AAA
be
game
100
that
hours
comes
long,
out
and I wasn't
would
going to
not
be able
have
to
this issue.
please
And
those
that's
who are
like
kind of the
everyone
Nintendo purists,
but this guy.
those who demand that you do things in a certain way and say if you don't, you've done it wrong. And I really feel like, sadly, that's kind of what's happened with this playthrough. Because allow me to give you to cover
Perspective.
both sides of the coin here. If you actually feel that someone playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom in a 100-hour playthrough is the way to play it, and if someone's only playing through it 40 hours and they're a month into the game and barely making progress and crawling along, and then along the way complaining
how-
about certain game mechanics,
why
you may be
that could
pretty
be.
upset. And the thing
Maybe
is,
some
I know
other
for a
game
fact
you're
that there's a
playing
group of people
more
that that's
that's
the
taking
case,
up
where they're
time?
watching my playthrough and they're
Time
like,
that
dude,
could be spent
he's
playing
not
this game.
taking his time with the game. He's skipping all of this content that he's coming up against and just running
1
right
month
by
in,
it.
only
It seems like
$40.
he's really rushing through. What's funny
That
is I
doesn't
want you to
sound right.
understand what I just said. I'm 40 hours into the game. I probably still arguably have another 8 to 10 hours if I even just want to just go right to the end and beat it. So you're talking a 48 to 50 hour playthrough, and people are complaining that I'm rushing through it.
I want you guys to understand.
Does that not really make sense from if you're not playing the game? All right? From an outsider's perspective, just listen to that. He's almost 50 hours into the game, and people are saying he's rushing through it. Do you see? Do you see the dichotomy there? Do you
We
see
could be
the
playing the
disconnect?
game now if you want to
Any
bitch
other
about
game,
it.
if you said, wow, someone's 58 hours or 48 hours or something into the game, wow, they really must be enjoying their game if they sunk that much time and effort into the playthrough. But for Zelda, it's like, that's not nearly enough. You should have done way more. And it's like, what? Like, why? Just because it's Zelda?
Why?
Just because it's Nintendo? I don't get that. Because if the name Zelda
Hey, Mr.
wasn't
Fun.
in the title, I feel like I wouldn't be getting that criticism for the playthrough. It would be like, wow, you know, he's spending a lot of time on this. This is good. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I really do feel that way about the game.
I can't wait to hear this
here's
argument
the deal, and I'm gonna say
repackaged
this
and
again.
recycled for
I
Final
like Zelda
Fantasy.
Tears of the
80
Kingdom.
hours in.
I certainly wouldn't still be playing it.
Why? Why do I need to devote 80 hours? Because it's Final
Okay?
Fantasy?
But there's certain things
I feel
really
like
about
if
it.
this
There's some
game
things I
wasn't
kinda
called
like about
Final
it.
Fantasy,
And
if
then there's
this
some
was
things that I
Game
really
of
feel like are
Thrones
just,
RPG,
you know,
you
not
guys would
done
not be
well.
saying this
And I've been
about
very
this game.
vocal about this, trying to be fair with the game and, you know, giving you my honest perspective.
He's been so fair
and
with this
I'm
game,
well aware
guys.
that most people probably don't agree with me, and there's a couple reasons. Number one, because Nintendo has that fan base of people that kind of feel like Nintendo can do
Yeah.
no wrong, and I disagree.
Nintendo has that fan base, just like Bethesda
I'm
has
certainly not
that
saying
fan
that's
base.
everyone.
Just like
There certainly
Activision
seems to
Blizzard
be
has
this
that
Nintendo
fan
defense
base.
force that always
Just like
comes out whenever
Capcom
you
has that fan
criticize a
base.
Nintendo game, fairly or not, it really doesn't matter. What ends up happening is
What
you
are
get
the
people who
companies
jump down
in
your
his
throat,
mind
right?
that don't have that
Oh
fan
my
base?
God,
Oh
how
my
dare you
god,
criticize
here come the
this game
dinguses and
because it's
donguses
first-party
of the
Nintendo,
world.
obviously it's a
Oh, you're not
masterpiece,
allowed
and
to
God forbid
criticize
you can say a single
Nintendo.
thing bad about it. You're just in the wrong no matter what. Even if it's constructive criticism, it doesn't matter, right? And that's kind of ridiculous in my
I thought your
opinion.
criticism is always constructive because you're
now-
positive. So you just shit on the game
Let's
to shit
talk.
on the game?
Let's talk about my
Interesting.
Zelda Tears of the Kingdom playthrough and what I've liked about the game and what I don't like
Yeah,
about
just
the
like
game.
Phil has
I
that
feel like a
fan
lot of
base.
things that for some people are positive, sadly
Yeah,
can be
doesn't
negative
Phil
for
has
others.
that?
And I feel like
Has
a lot
he?
of
He
things
does
that
have that
started
fan
off
base,
strong
right? You can
actually
just
bite
make
this
fun
game
of
in the
Phil,
butt,
and the
right?
Phil Defense Force comes a running.
First of all,
You make a
one
video
of the
on
things that
Phil,
I've
and
described
all the Phil
when I
fans
say-
are
when
in
I
your
describe
comments
Tears of the Kingdom,
toxifying
I
it
said the
up.
game is bloated,
That always happens.
okay?
Interesting. Interesting
I think
comparison.
some people have misunderstood what I mean by that. All right. When I say the game is bloated, what I mean is the game has an incredible amount of content. Okay. Now here's the thing.
But it's not
If you're
meaningful.
sitting there and you
How
feel
could
like
people
all of
misinterpret that?
insane amount of
You
content
only explain what that
is
means every
meaningful,
fucking day.
then you wouldn't feel bloat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have a meal that's a giant meal, but if everything there is absolutely delicious and nothing is over too much in one direction, you have a well-balanced meal. It
This is
could
a
feel like you had
restaurant
an
analogy.
amazing
This
meal
is
and
his
you could still be
restaurant
full, but
analogy
not
from the
bloated,
chat
right?
earlier.
I hate to say it, I don't feel that way with Tears of the Kingdom. I do feel like the game suffers very much from bloat because it's coming
Hey,
from a
Spoons.
perspective of someone who's a super fan of Zelda, and in particular, someone who's a super fan of Breath of the Wild. All right. So what do I mean by that? All right. Well, first of all, the game has an incredible amount of content, no matter where you go or what you do. There's new locations, new camps,
Hey,
new
Knock.
combat challenges, new dungeons to find, new challenge dungeons with
That's kind of the
puzzles.
point. That's the idea behind the
Small
game. No
enemies,
matter where you're
giant
going, you're
enemies,
going the right way.
secrets to be found, traversal to be had.
And the game
there's
doesn't
story
expect you to
elements
do
with
all
the
of
Tears
it.
of the Dragon,
You think the game
and
wants you
there's
to get all
non-story
those
elements
fucking
with
Korok
completely
seeds? They
optional
actually
side
make
quests
fun
with
of you
characters
for
that
doing
have their
that.
own little side stories that can add to the game. I mean, just to give you some perspective on some of
Oh
the
my
stuff in
god,
the
he said
game,
perspective.
There's horse travel, but you don't never need it. But there's horse travel.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's
You don't have to do it.
all this building and mechanics with the physics of you know, building vehicles and doing all of that.
Yeah, and you don't have to
literally
do it.
Don't ever need it,
That's good.
but it's in there.
That's
if you wanna
good. You
do
would
it.
complain about
You
it if
see?
they made you do it.
So for someone who's sitting down,
You can solve puzzles
and
whatever
saying,
way you
"All
want.
right, I literally
even the
have
retarded way,
unlimited
like
time,
you did in that Amelia clip.
unlimited resources. I can just sit here and enjoy this game at face value for what it is. This might be an insane masterpiece and the best game that you've ever played. And that's fine. And I respect that opinion. I really do. Because the tools are there.
Hey, what's up, Retro?
To say that this game is absolutely amazing. But when you make a video game and when you play a video game, not everyone is in the same perspective.
Okay, but who gives a shit about them? They should play Street Fighter. They should
and
play
the
Street
ability
Fighter
to
if they don't
sit
have
there
time to play
at
100-hour
endless
games.
lengths and enjoy a game. Some people actually want some guidance. Some people want to know what's the important thing to do and what's not. Some people want to say, all right, do I need to bother?
This reminds me of the developer who responded to the Amelia clip saying that my entire life I've made games, I've only ever thought about appeasing DSP and not appeasing the VTuber.
Everything in my path, or can I just walk from
Why aren't you considering me?
Tears of the Kingdom essentially does absolutely nothing whatsoever to explain the system to you. Like, that's good. Everything's there.
I like that.
And you can either take as much time as you want to mess with it and learn it, or you can completely
They want you to do
it.
that, yeah.
Now, if you take the time to mess with it and learn
that's
it,
what they
you'll
want you to
probably
do.
have a better time with the game.
You can learn it if you want. If you don't have to,
traverse areas
you don't need to.
these cool
Ignore it if you want. You can go wherever you want.
Stuff, and now you have better armor
I like that it
you
doesn't
found
hold
because
your
you
hand.
explored more, and you found the great fairies, so now you can upgrade your armor. Now your armor's better, and you found better items to combine to make really good weapons. And now there's optional bosses in the game. You can take on the optional bosses because you have.
I mean, but we already knew that.
So you're
fucking
getting
God of War.
The full experience.
Ragnarok
of the game
was made with
if
Phil
you
in
are
mind.
taking your absolute time with it, but not everyone can do that.
All right, then I guess the game's not for you. I guess you just take the L on it.
It does an absolute great job of creating a robust.
So what he's asking for is the game to essentially be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Tries to appeal to everybody and appeals to no one, rather than a focused experience that is obviously appealing to a specific demographic of imaginative
and enjoy a
gamers.
Zelda game. It does a poor job at that, because in reality, Tears of the Kingdom really isn't a Zelda game. It's a different animal entirely. That doesn't mean it's a bad game. Actually,
this is
gatekeeping.
gatekeeping.
I actually feel
This is
that if you are
gatekeeping.
an
I read
open-world
tweets
gamer,
like this on Twitter.
and this is the game
Twitter
you sit down
tweets.
with
They got
to take
blasted
your
for
time
saying
with
this.
in
Oh, it's not a real
2023,
Zelda
and you
game.
ignore all the other white noise
You
around
only like the Breath of the Wild games.
This is probably your game of the year because of the way that it's laid out.
Oh, wow,
and
it doesn't
incredible
count as
amount of
Zelda.
content and things like that. But
But
not
Final
everyone
Fantasy
does
counts
that.
as Final
Not
Fantasy?
everyone is
That's
of
like
the
a different
mindset that I'm
beast.
just
That's not
sitting
like-
down
that's not
just to
like
play
Final
Zelda
Fantasy
Tears of the
6.
Kingdom this year. It's like, well, Zelda's just one thing I'm doing this year amongst many other things.
Exactly, Peaches.
and
I want to
like
hear this
enjoy a
about
Zelda
Final
game.
Fantasy
I
80
actually
hours
feel like
in.
the game
I actually feel
fails
like
in
this
that
isn't
regard.
Final Fantasy. This is not Final
Just to give you
Fantasy.
some perspective.
Just to give you some perspective, imagine if this wasn't Final Fantasy.
And here's why.
Oh, I see this all the time too, about how Breath of the Wild is actually better in hindsight.
In Breath of the Wild,
People are either
everything is
saying
new.
Breath
It's
of
a
the Wild
brand
is
new world. It's the first time you're
they're either
experiencing
saying
any
Breath of the
this.
Wild
Not to
is
say that there
better,
aren't connections and
or that
throwbacks
Breath of
to
the
other Zelda
Wild
games.
was a
There
tech
totally
demo.
are. But the first time you walk into, say, Hateno Village,
You don't even
and
remember
all of a
anything
sudden you're
about Breath
talking
of the
with
Wild. Fuck
townspeople,
off.
and you realize this village is interesting, and there's quest lines there you need to do. You meet Pura for the first time, and the scientist group, and you're doing questing for them.
Breath of the
and
Wild
later
was
on,
better
you have a
because it
house
was
that's
the
your
first
own
time
and
I
stuff like
was
that.
doing
That
it,
feels
and now I'm
really,
doing
really,
it
really,
again.
really meaningful to you. Right? It's a really important part of the game.
That's subjective.
In this
though.
game, when you
like,
walk
that
into
has
Hateno Village,
nothing
it's like, oh, it's that village from
objective
the first
to
game.
do with
Are there
the
a couple
game.
side quests? Yeah, you could do a side quest to color your clothes or whatever.
Breath of the Wild is better because of subjective
Okay.
shit.
Do you need to do anything in the town? Absolutely not. It's just there as a reference to the first game, and
But they
can
have
be
taken it
completely
out?
skipped and adds nothing. Like literally, you can skip the whole town and there's nothing to it. You walk into Kakariko Village again, another village. There was major plot developments in the first game. It was a big focus of the plot there with Impa and and the townspeople and how that tied into the world of Breath of the Wild and the calamity and everything going on. And here you walk in there,
Hate
no
this
one's even there.
motherfucker
It's
so
like
much.
the leader's missing, not there. You talk to half the people won't even let you go through half the. Oh, we were told not to let you up there because there's ruins. Don't even go there. Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
it
I
feels
don't.
like they wanted to make a sequel, but when
They
they
did.
they
They did.
didn't have use for half the stuff from the first game. So why did they bother making the sequel? That's blow. When you have content that's look, here's a reference to the first game. By the way,
Everything
it has
should
no
just be
meaning in
cut.
this one. Then what was the point? And the answer is there is none. there's no meaning to half the stuff in the game.
Just
it's
cut
just
it
there
out.
as a reference point to the
Ah,
first.
yes, trim the
but
fat.
you could have skipped the first and just played this one. To which case, half the stuff you encounter, you'll be like, "What is this? Like what?" I don't
Again, this
understand
goes
what
back to his
crap is.
complaint
Like,
that
why
it
does
erases
Nintendo Village
erases
exist?
the first game.
There's no real
His
major quest
experience
lines
with
there.
the first
There's no
game,
real
his
ties to the
meaningful
plot.
experience he
Why is it
had
even
the
in
first
game?
time around
And
with
why
Breath
does it
of the
look
Wild
so
has been
significant? Because
negated
it
by
was
the
significant in the
existence of
first
this game.
and they just
Which I don't
had it
even
as, like,
believe is
fan
the
service
case.
reference to the first game.
Fan
I really
service. It's a
honestly
direct
feel
sequel.
Like
It would have been better if the
If
village was just wiped from existence.
this game
A common
was its
complaint I
own
see with Tears of the
standalone game and
Kingdom
was not a direct
is that the
sequel to Breath of the
divine
Wild, it would be
beasts
better.
just aren't
Why?
anywhere.
Because then
Same thing
everything
with
you
the
do would feel
Guardians.
meaningful and
The
a first-time
Guardians.
discovery.
I mean,
you
they're
know?
there if you.
And as neat as it is
you
to
actually pay
rediscover
attention.
certain areas, and maybe in this case they have different meaning. Like for example, you go to the
They
Zora
actually
Village,
did erase shit.
and in the first
They
game, they had this
arguably
one
erased a
plot line
lot
going
more
for it,
shit
and
than
in
he
this game, it's a
realizes.
completely different plot line that's kind of interesting. But at the same time, it's the same thing you did in the
He's
first
like,
game.
why are they
You know what I
keeping
mean?
everything
Like,
from the first
it
game?
does lose some
Actually,
of its
Phil,
meaning.
if you
I
pay
don't understand
attention,
why this needed to
they
be a
removed
direct
a lot
sequel,
from
especially
the
because
first game.
It seems like that entire plot line of the calamity from Breath of the Wild has been completely glossed over as if it never
When was the
mattered.
last time we just liked
In
the
which
game
case
and then
the whole
100%
first
didn't
game was a
talk
waste
about
of
it?
your time. It really
Straight.
feels that way.
Waste of
The
time.
whole beginning plot
Fuck
of this
off.
game is basically
Is it
saying the
Drizzle?
calamity plot line didn't matter.
No.
Even if it happened or didn't,
No,
erase it from
they
your
have
memory,
never said
'cause there's a
that.
whole new plot line going on, superfluous outside of the realm of the
Superfluous.
calamity plot line. Like
I hate this
all
shit.
that big build-up in the first game saying the calamity.
All right,
is the end
Bowser's
of this
attacking
world
in
and everything,
Mario
we've gotta
World, so
stop
this
it.
completely
He stopped
erases
it.
what
it
he
doesn't
did in
matter, 'cause
Mario
now another
3.
thing is here anyway that supersedes it. So then, what was the point of the whole first game? There was none. I do feel like in their
Wow, Bowser's attacking in Galaxy 2?
because Breath of the Wild did so
What the
well,
fuck was the point of
and they wanted
Galaxy
to
1? We
capitalize
stopped them the
on
first
that.
time around.
They sadly made a game that doesn't feel nearly as full of wonder as Breath of the Wild
of
did.
wonder.
Now listen, they added sky floating islands and they added underground exploration.
They're
Great,
meaningless,
good for you.
superfluous.
And yeah, there's some
Great,
interesting
good
stuff
for
out
you.
there with puzzles and the like. But never once
Wow.
in this playthrough yet
Great,
have
good
I really
for
felt
you.
that feeling of wonderment and discovery like I did in Breath of the Wild. First discovering things like, oh, the Lost Woods. Ooh, the floating labyrinth in the sky. That's a whole optional puzzle that's really interesting because I don't know what it is and if it leads to anything good. Oh my god.
We
I'm
already
climbing
beat
Death Mountain,
Fawful in
there's a giant
Superstar
salamander
Saga. We
creature
beat
on it that's
him.
actually
He's
a boss
done.
dungeon
I
that we're
saw
gonna-
him die.
But you
He's
don't
back?
feel that in the game. You just don't. It's kind of like I already was in this world. I already know where everything is. And the other thing too, I hate this whole premise of we played a whole game in this fucking world, you know, an 80-hour playthrough. Now we're
And it
back
doesn't
to the
matter.
sequel. Everything's forgotten. Oh, your map has been reset. Everything's done. Fuck you. Spent all that time in the first game. Now I gotta go through this whole fucking game and remap everything again? Right? Like, geez, thanks a lot. Really feel like my time was well used in the first one. Like I said, maybe
Oh
if it
yeah,
wasn't
it's exactly what
reusing
I'm
the same
thinking
map
it is.
again,
It's
it would feel
just
better
Time
'cause then it would
Warden.
make
It's
sense,
the
but this
Time
was,
Warden
oh,
shit
by the way,
again. My
screw off, I'll
playthrough,
go
my
remap the
playthrough
whole
from
world
5
again.
years ago.
We already
No,
did that in the first one.
it was wasted
I gotta do it
time.
again? So here's the thing. Again, I'm not saying the game's bad at all, but man, it feels bloated. It feels like
Did he
they
forget
were
when he
really
started
going
with 20
for,
hearts and the Master
let's
Sword
throw
in
in
this
the
game?
absolute most amount of content we possibly
Why didn't they
can throw at
remember
you in one
anything you
video
did
game,
from the first
but
game?
never really directing you towards feeling what's meaningful. Now, not to say
When
that the
I make a
doesn't say,
game,
hey,
I'm gonna have a
here's the 4
meaningful
big dungeons,
meter.
head in that direction. It absolutely does that. But the point I'm making
If
is
content
if you
is
just head for those
meaningful,
dungeons,
the
the game
arrow on the
sucks.
meter will
Because
tip to
you
the
don't have
right.
armor,
It'll
because you
tip
don't
to the red
have,
zone.
you know,
Meaningful,
better
meaningful,
weapons.
meaningful.
You didn't take the time to explore and get the plot.
Anything
I mean, you won't even get the
non-meaningful will tip
plot of
left,
the
it'll be
game
green.
if you
Not
just focus on the
meaningful,
4 major dungeons.
not
The plot is
meaningful,
based around
not
the tiers of the
meaningful,
dragon
stay
you need to
away.
find on the map. You
This is
absolutely
grindy,
bare
grindy
minimum
side
should be
quest.
finding all those tiers before you beat the game, or else you haven't gotten the story, right? So it's just, to me, it doesn't feel like a Zelda experience. You know what I'm saying? Like a Zelda experience, when you're going through the game, you're going to get the main plot of the game no matter how you play it, right? You're going to have these core experiences of each dungeon, and those are going to be meaningful to you.
They did
And
the
then you're gonna
old
get a
Zelda
heightened
experience a
climax
couple
where
of
there's
times,
probably a
though.
big showdown in a final
And then
dungeon
they
and a
did
big
it
boss
so
at the end and all
bad
of that.
one time.
And not to say that
They
that's
called it
not present
Skyward
in this
Sword.
game,
They
but
realized
the
they
game just
needed to do
throws so
something
much
different.
at you
And I
that
like Skyward
everything
Sword.
feels badly paced and
But there's a
very
reason
much
they
disjointed.
thought the series.
And the funny part about it too is, like, it seems like no matter how you play it, it's not good enough for Nintendo fans. Like, for example, if I
thought Nintendo fans don't watch his
beeline for a
shit.
dungeon, oh, he's just rushing. right?
I thought Nintendo
last
fans
night,
don't
for
watch his
example,
shit,
I
so
wanted
how
to
does he
explore
know
the
he's getting this
southwestern part of the
critique?
map. So I did. I actually was.
Nintendo fans
jumping,
don't tune into
between
Darkside
the different
Phil,
mountains.
but
There
he's
were different tiers of the dragon that I wanted.
what
to
I
get
think
up
is
because I wanted to
happening
get the
is
full
he
story of the game,
he's
so I'm doing
broad
that.
rushing the same
I
10
started reading video
motherfuckers who
comments.
tune in
Oh my
every fucking
God,
stream,
why did
and
you
he's
do it
just
like
calling
that?
them the
All he had to
Nintendo
do was
fans.
ride the road from Point Lookout, and it would have, or Lookout Landing, or whatever it's called. It would have taken him right into the Gerudo Desert.
They're
He
hand-holding
literally
you.
wasted an hour of time traversing the mountains.
They're
Why
helping
wouldn't
you
he
out.
just take the main road? And I was like, wait, what?
They're helping
so if
you
I take
out.
my time
Wow,
to explore
they're
and
hoof
find
holding
things
you.
in the game
Don't you want to be done
at
with
my
this?
own pace, and I'm enjoying
They're
the
hearing
plot
segments
line,
like
that's
this, and
bad.
their takeaway is that you want to be
Why
done
didn't I
with
just
it.
take the
So they're
road,
telling you what to
right?
do.
But if I'd taken the road, it would have been, oh, well, you see, he didn't take his time to find the cutscenes, so now he doesn't know the plot of the game because he rushed through it. It's like, what the fuck? So how
Why
exactly
am I being
supposed
attacked?
to play it? Right? It seems like no
Why
matter what
am I
I do or
still
how
getting
I play the game,
hate?
it's not good enough for the Nintendo fans. So then why the fuck do I give a fuck about what the Nintendo fans think? Right? And the funny part is, again, I actually enjoyed myself last night. The first hour last night was a pain in the ass because I got into this optional area. And here's what I mean about blow, okay? There's an optional area that opens up at point or Lookout Landing.
It's
that
sad
leads you to
when
this
I
ginormous
haven't
cave
played the
system. You
game,
think it's gonna take you like
but
5 minutes? No, I did it for 45 minutes. I wasn't done
I
yet.
can
It just
connect.
continued on
I
and
can
on and
put
on. It was like an
myself
endless amount.
right
Tunnels
there,
blocked by boulders.
watching
There
him
was a
play
boss
this,
down there. There was
even
all
though
this
I did
shit.
not
And I
actually
got a few
watch him play
resources,
it.
And I found a few early
That's how
game armor
predictable
pieces down
he's
there.
become. I can predict.
But even by the, I'd done it for 45
I can
minutes and
imagine
it
what
wasn't done
happened
yet.
on that stream
And I'm like, dude, how long is this
without
gonna
having
fucking
seen
go?
it,
I thought this was gonna be like a
literally.
5-minute thing, and here we go with the blow. Because who knows what's down here? Is there anything meaningful to my playthrough or not? Come to find out, actually not really. There would have been a third piece of armor I didn't find, and apparently it would have led me to Hyrule Castle. Okay.
Okay.
Which would have been fine,
Okay.
but there's really no reason for me to be there. There's no dungeon there or anything right now, so there's no point in really going there. And a lot of people are saying it's something that people did early on if they wanted to get that armor set, and it helped them before they started finding other armor sets, but I already have other armor sets. Well, how would I know that? You don't know. When a game has so much content and no guidance, you could just stumble upon something late game that you think is interesting, and it's not. It's early game, it's a waste of time. You wasted an hour, right? And I really did. I basically wasted a whole hour last night for the first hour doing this stupid cave. So then after that, I said, forget it. Let's go to other content, right? Let's go find the cutscenes. Let's go do the Tears of the Dragon. And we did all of those, and that was great. It actually fleshed out the story of the game, and then I don't want to give spoilers because there's a critical plot point.
Oh, so you actually did
during
some
the
shit
Tears of the
last
Dragon
night.
quest line that's really, really important. Okay.
Oh, I thought you didn't make any progress last night.
So without spoiling a major plot point, something really critical happens, and then there's like a race against time, and basically it was really suspenseful and interesting, and I did it, and I was like, wow, and something really awesome happened at the very, very end of last night's stream, and I was like, wow, that was giant plot development.
I want more moments like that all the time.
Right? So it's kind of like,
you know why that part was so impactful to you, Phil?
Stream,
because it doesn't happen every fucking moment of the playthrough.
Of development, exploration. By the way, now I've done every tower in the game, so the whole map is mapped out for me now.
It's
so
fine,
kind of
Retro.
like 2
I think you're
hours
fine.
of completely
have a nice,
conflicted
positive,
pacing.
cozy,
And do you
comfy
understand
Sunday.
what I'm saying? In one case, I could spend an hour in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and literally get nothing done whatsoever of any point or use. And then I could play another hour.
Ironically, he hasn't had a stream like this yet. I haven't had a.
I did 2 or 3 Tears
I
of the
haven't
Kingdom back to back.
seen
I hit up all the towers.
a Zelda situation where he's like, we literally did nothing. So you're making scenarios up in your head that didn't actually happen.
It's just not. And the point I'm making, where was the blow? The blow was the first hour.
He's always
My
doing
entire
something in
first hour
every
last night of
session,
streaming
whether
Zelda
it's a
could have been cut
story,
out,
tears,
and nothing would have been
cutscene,
missed, and I would have been able
or
to use
getting
that
to
hour
a
for something more
temple,
interesting.
or doing it to
And
the
that's the
temple, or
problem.
doing the
They
boss.
put too much in the game. That is blow. That doesn't add.
He
to
always gets
anything.
at least
When I
one
can
thing
skip
done.
entire
He's
villages
not.
because there's
He's
just
never
side
had like
content
a
in this game,
completely
that's
dead.
blow.
We didn't do anything
In
this session.
Breath of the
stream.
Wild, every village mattered. Every dungeon mattered. Every piece of the content mattered because it was all adding to this big
All right, thank you,
world-building
Retro.
thing, and there were critical plots in each part. In Tears of the Kingdom, half the content seems like it doesn't make a difference. And again, if you're painstakingly taking your time to do it all, because you have unlimited
That feeling
time,
might be because they let
unlimited
you do
resources,
whatever you
and this
want
is
in
the
whatever
only
order
game
you
you're
want.
playing, then maybe it has some meaning to you, and it doesn't matter if you wasted an hour because you have another 400 hours to play the game.
Yeah,
But for
that's
other
like
people who live
99%.
in reality, who don't fucking have unlimited time and resources to enjoy one video game, yeah, I'm angry when I waste an hour of my time because the game didn't explain what was down there and it was a bloated in bullshit.
DSP is the majority. You're the minority. You're being erased.
In this playthrough where there's bloat and there's bullshit.
DSP is
instead
normal.
Of meaningful content. That's not good. Okay? Now, by the way, I'm not saying that every video game should be 20 hours long streamlined plot. I'm not saying that. All
There
right?
you are.
But I'm saying that at least
Like
the game
that-
should have a guide or a path
Yeah.
to do it that way. Right? And it
They
doesn't.
did. It was called
So,
Navi, and people fucking
essentially,
hated her.
the way I see
Ack,
it is,
ack, ack.
it's a mixed bag for me. I do really like the game. What are my
They
favorite
hated-
parts
they
of
hated
Tears of the
V.
Kingdom?
They
The
liked
Tears of the
Midna,
Dragon,
but
like
we know why
exploring
we know
those
why they liked
geoglyphs, seeing those cutscenes. The major dungeons have been great.
They
Like,
gotta
I've done
bring
3 out of the
Ezlo
4.
back.
We're heading to the 4th.
Ezlo can tell
I
Phil
didn't
where to
dislike
go.
a single major dungeon. I felt like they were well
They're on
designed,
fire,
curated to
brother.
be unique experiences for the gamer. You can do them in different ways in some cases.
you already
Like the
knew
third
that.
major dungeon, I actually did a big shortcut, which was really cool. That you can actually do that. The boss fights so far, the major boss fights have been good. Okay, I have no complaints there. And to some extent, the exploration, just like the exploration of Breath of the Wild, I feel like the open world exploration has been some of the neater part of the game.
It's that heaven.
Okay?
Oh shit, we
But
gotta suck its
admittedly,
cock.
a lot of that element
we're
has been taken
complaining.
away when you've already been here before. You've already done this map. I mean, where's the real exploration? The underground where it's dark and you can't see half the shit, or the sky where sadly you don't have freedom to really explore because you don't have freedom to fly around. You know, you always have to be reliant on launching yourself up on a tower or finding another way up there, which is very limiting. Now some people are, oh, well, you should have researched the building and built a fucking vehicle that would infinitely let you fly around up there. Yeah, here's the thing. There's always
doesn't
an
wanna
answer
break
to
the
every
game.
criticism you have for the game, but the answer always results in the following: spend more time on the bloat of the game, right? Like for example, yesterday I was.
People
in
are
this
probably
underground
trying to
cave
tell
and
him
there
about the
was this
hover
boss.
bike, but he's
So I'm
thinking
fighting
like,
the boss and it hits me once. Now I have 11 hearts. All right, I don't have like 3 hearts. I have 11 hearts. I've spent a significant amount of time in the game leveling up my health. This boss
11 hearts don't
still
sound like
insta-kills you, takes 11 hearts with 1 hit. Can you name another Zelda game where a boss takes 11 hearts in 1 hit? Just think about this.
yeah, enemies did no damage in Twilight
No,
Princess, and
it's never
people
happened
hated
before.
that.
They just decided to make it like that in this game. So what's the solution? I don't understand, because everything I did in this cave up to now was not a problem. Why does this boss insta-kill you? Here's the solution. People say to me, oh, you should have got more hearts.
Yeah, sounds like a solution to
I
me.
should have got more hearts. I'm 40 hours into the game. This is not a 10-hour run and I ran into
You
the
not
boss.
know how to
I'm
do
40
math? If
hours
he takes
into the
away
game.
11 hearts,
I've
maybe you
more
get
than
12 hearts.
Triple to quadruple the amount of
What
hearts
does he want
I
me to
had at
say
the
to that?
beginning. You
I don't
understand?
know.
I have armor on that I
Your
have
armor
some
fucking
defense
sucks
on,
then.
right? If the solution is you should have just endlessly grinded and spent more time wasted in the game to level up menial things, that's not a solution. That's a cop-out, and that's
Hey, little
basically
monkey.
you trying to shrug off
Yeah,
criticism
this sounds like
for the
a
game that
this sounds
deserves
like
it.
an armor issue.
No, there shouldn't be enemies in the game that hit you for 11 hearts. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely preposterous.
100% this
That
sounds like
shouldn't
an
happen.
armor
And the
issue.
solution shouldn't be
I wanna see
spend
his
another
armor
10
now.
hours grinding in the side shrines to level up your hearts more. No, that should not be the answer.
No, I don't wanna
That's a
do
bad
that.
Answer. That's a game design
Can I just spend
flaw
money to be
that
invincible?
should be called out. Not just spend
We need-
even more
this
time
kinda
in the game
shit
you already felt
needs
was
to be
bloated.
called out.
That's not a solution. That's a
I need a
cop-out,
final
okay?
solution.
But people don't want to hear that. They don't like
Okay.
hearing honest criticism about a game that they're in love with. Sadly, this game is not perfect.
How many hearts
It's
in past
good.
Zelda
Don't
games
get me
were
wrong.
completely
There's
optional?
real
I was
high
playing
highs in the
Minish
game
Cap.
last night.
I feel like
Again,
if
it's
you
hard for me
didn't
to
do the
not
side
spoil the
shit,
plot
you'd
point of what
stop
happened
at like
last night,
10
because
hearts,
actually I
which is
loved
half
it.
of the
That
maximum
moment
hearts you can
that
get.
happened, I was like, wow, that was really neat. It was like a culmination of a lot of work that I did in the game, and it panned out to something really neat at the end. You know, that's one of the best things you could do in a video game, is when you spend a lot of time, all right, on something. When you spend a lot of time on it, right, and you're investing a lot of effort,
Man.
and then basically
I
at the
thought
end
I
of
thought
that
we're
time
trying to
and
have
effort,
honest debate.
there's a big rewarding
Where's
culmination.
the honest
at the
debate
end.
at? You still haven't
That's
told
one of
me.
the best things that can happen in a video game, and that happened last night. And I was like, dude, that's gonna be one of the moments that resonates in my head of this playthrough. At the end, when I beat it, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna remember that moment. That's cool. That's gonna be one of my big takeaways, right? And the game has those big takeaways.
Does he have the Master
So it's
Sword
not
now?
a horrible
I thought he
game.
tried to get
this
it
game,
from
I'm
the titles
criticizing
of
it,
the
but I want you to
videos I
understand
saw, but
I am
didn't
really
watch.
liking it.
But he wasn't
I
able
am.
to.
But
So did he succeed?
it definitely is not a game for someone who is not just focused on it. You know what I mean? It's just not. They didn't
he got
design
it.
it like that. It's like, well,
I saw
you shouldn't.
he
you
called
won't
the
get
Master
instant kill
Sword.
stomped by
The
enemies
Zelda
if you
calls
spend
the
another
Master Sword a
20
she,
hours grinding
and
for
this is supposed to be a
hearts.
reference to Fee.
What?
And Fee
No,
is
that
like
was
Fee is
that's
in the game.
opposite of
You
what
don't
I wanna
see
hear as
her.
an answer.
But
That's
it's
literally
by
like that-
referencing Skyward Sword, you're supposed
I'm
to
already
remember
telling
Fee.
you I'm 40 hours
and
in,
Zelda
and I feel
talks
like
to
the
the
game has
sword, and it's
bloat,
like, oh,
and
she's
I feel
actually
like more
talking to
meaningful
Fee.
stuff had happened
But he
in the
doesn't
40 hours
remember
I played,
this,
and
even
your
though he
solution
played
was spend
Skyward Sword
20
a
more
couple years
hours
ago.
grinding. Like,
So he like
no.
did not understand why Zelda called the why Zelda was given the Master Sword pronouns. It's not because of
Anyway,
it's not because of Pride Month, I
And
assure
it's
you.
funny because right now, I see certain people in the chat completely disagreeing with me, which is fine. But then there's other people who are disagreeing with me and then completely write off my opinion. Oh, you see, he's wrong. All right, here's the thing.
Yeah, I see your opinion. I
All right,
acknowledge
here's
it,
something
but I'm
that I
writing it off.
definitely learned. All right.
Hello, Marked One.
In life,
Big ups.
you have to at least
Marked
try
One with no underscore.
to see from another person's perspective. You have to, okay?
I picked the
Because
right
as I
day to
got
do a
older,
restream,
what I
Marked One.
realized
This
is
is
that
the
when
big
I was
Zelda
younger, I used to be a very
wine,
opinionated
40
person,
hours
as a
in.
YouTuber, right? And my problem with
this has
that
been the whole show.
is I used to say it's my way or the highway. I would have a very strong opinion about something. I really liked it or I really hated it. And that opinion was
Yeah, big
fact
ups to
for
the
me.
Gs.
It wasn't like that's my opinion. That's fact. And God forbid anyone ever disagree with me on my opinion. Like, that's horrible that someone would disagree with me because I'm in the right. And I should show everyone the way.
Yeah, I think you'd like
the,
this,
you know,
rant,
the
even though you
truthful
don't,
way
you don't
of how,
touch
you know what
Zelda
I mean?
games.
And, you know,
Because I foresee this
sadly,
rant being
I
recycled
feel like
and
a lot of people are
repackaged
still
when
kind of stuck in that mindset. like I
the
used to
further
be
he
in.
gets into Final
Today,
Fantasy.
if someone disagrees with me on
He's gonna
something,
start comparing
what
it.
I try
Remember
to
when
do
I
is try
played
to
Final
understand their
Fantasy
perspective.
in
Even if I don't
fucking
agree with
5
it, and even
a
if
couple
maybe I
months back?
can't
I spent like 20
really
hours on that game.
fully
Compare it to
logically put
this.
myself into that perspective they're in. I still try to respect the fact that they have a feeling about something. Do you understand what I'm saying? And excuse me.
Or I
That's
listen
why
to
when
him, the
people
more
are
my
coming at me
mind
and
turns
saying,
to mush.
"You're absolutely wrong. Zelda is
Look
great.
at that
and
landing
here's
strip. Did you
why."
see that
And I'm
landing
like,
strip?
well, I agree it's good. I don't think it's the best game ever made, like a lot of people are saying, but I definitely like it a lot. But I think that there's flaws, and I have the right
could
to
just buy a
criticism.
Switch
And some
Lite.
people are like, no, you don't, because everything you're
But
saying
I
is
guess
just
you'd wanna
factually
stream it.
wrong. You're telling me it's factually wrong that it could be unfair feeling that you just
I
lost
thought
11
GPM
hearts to
sold
one
you
hit.
on the Switch. I thought he had an
You don't
amazing
think
sales
it's
pitch.
factually like there's a problem with the fact that the answer to the problem is you should have just spent lots more time invested in the game. Like what?
What?
I just don't get that. You know what I'm saying?
Ear
Like,
pick.
it drives me nuts.
Is his
If
ear
my- if my
already red?
feeling Is that the game
Every
has
time he
bloat,
picks his ear,
How could I be
his ear just
factually wrong if
it's
it's a
all
feeling?
rosy immediately.
right? But here's the thing: is that there's always going to be people who disagree, and that's okay. I've learned to get a lot more.
Yeah, apparently we're in the
Understanding
twilight
the
years
fact
of the
that
Switch.
I'm
You
different
might
from
want
other
to
people.
wait and see
My
what they got on
opinions
the
very much,
horizon.
you know, a lot of cases can differ.
I
from
don't
other
think
people.
this is the
And I don't get
last
upset
year,
about it
but I
anymore. I'm not
wouldn't
gonna
be
sit here and rant
surprised
and say,
if
well, you're
next
all
year
wrong
was
for
the last
disagreeing
year.
with me or whatever. I'm just going to try to relay my own opinion and my perspective. Okay, from my perspective, Tears of the Kingdom is a good game. It's a great game actually, because the highs that it has are quite good. Like I
Shit
said,
better
so
be
far,
backwards
the 3 major
compatible.
dungeons I've done, I've enjoyed every single one. A lot of the exploration has been very fun, and discovery has been very fun. And I really liked the Tears of the Dragon plot line. All right, that's the main story plot line of the game, and I feel like that's critical to the game. You absolutely, if you're playing this game, should experience
I don't
that. If you
think
didn't do
directs,
it, you did miss out on a major part of the
Unveil
game that
new
you
hardware
should be
like that.
experienced.
They kind of get
so
their
those
own
are my highs,
event.
you know. But for all of that, there's what I feel is a lot of menial exploration that doesn't feel as meaningful in this one because you're discovering locations that literally don't have really much to do with the plot at all. They're just there for a throwback connection to the first game, which makes them feel kind of a waste of time, which is a shame because in the first game these places are very meaningful, and this one they're not.
I should have just
Same
taken it
thing
away
with the
then. They
gameplay
should have just
mechanics.
erased it.
Major
Like everything
complaint of
else they
everyone in the
took
first
away from
game,
Breath of the Wild.
We didn't like the fact that everything's constantly breaking and all of that. So what did they do? They like double down on it. They totally made
Yeah, they
it,
didn't wanna
like,
take
just
the
as
L
bad,
like
if not
you.
worse than this one. It's like they just ignore the feedback they got from common gamers saying we don't want
Base
a system where
Miyamoto
everything's
and
constantly
Aonuma.
breaking. It's just too tedious.
They don't
and annoying.
care.
They just double down
Just
on
view
it.
shit,
It made
man.
it even worse, in my opinion. Not to say again that it breaks the game, but it certainly makes it more painstaking and tedious.
It doesn't break the game, it breaks your weapons.
You know?
Ack.
And the whole idea that, the difference between this one and the first one is this new hand mechanic where you can combine and do puzzles. I like the puzzles.
Derek
I
has some
really
hand
enjoyed
mechanics, if you know what I mean.
a lot of the puzzles and things, but there is some wonkiness to the physics of it. There's some problems with the graphics too, where the graphics kind of chop up in certain situations, or the camera is really bad in certain combat situations. Well, you know what's really annoying me, which I called out a bunch of times and I always forget to criticize. A lot of the times when you're doing the floating hand mechanic, you're grabbing items, you're trying to position them to combine them or whatever.
The rotation?
camera won't go to the right spacing.
What?
So you can't see it. It's like right here in front of you, but the camera's like here. I just want to see the item.
Be closer to
Why
the
is
monitor.
the camera stuck? So I can't tell where I'm
TV.
positioning
You don't use
something.
the monitor.
It's definitely something that should be fixed or criticized or
And-
improved. And you know, maybe in future games,
There's a guy literally in his chat called
So maybe in
Phil.
the next Zelda they won't even have this puzzle mechanic. In which case,
Oh,
there's really no
Willow's
opportunity
here.
to improve it because it's kind
They can
of
fuck
already
off
only
too.
for one game or whatever. I don't know. I would think maybe they would use it in another game only because, man, it must have taken them a tremendous amount of time to design this physics and puzzle engine, right? Like it's very elaborate. It's very complex. It's one of the more unique things I've seen in a video game. And in reality, yeah, it has added a lot to my playthrough where I enjoy some of the ingenuity of the puzzles and things that they've designed in the game and the ways to do stuff. It seems like there's so many different ways
I
to
thought
do things
Fortnite
in
and
this game,
Minecraft already
you
did
know?
that.
And that's cool. That's a really well thought out thing about the game. So, I don't know. Like I said, I really still am liking the game, but at this point, you know, I'm 40 hours in, and it's like, well, what's left in the game? I could fully explore the underground. I could fully explore the sky. Is there a point? From what I'm to understand, there's one more major cutscene that I need to get for the plot, and then it's really to see the rest of the game. It's the fourth dungeon, and then like the final dungeon at the end of the game. Yeah, there's other stuff, but it's all side stuff, so it doesn't really even add to the main plot. So does it matter? The answer is no, it doesn't. If I was trying to purposefully make a 100-hour playthrough, I could put another 50. Well, I guess
I
after
have
another 10
not,
hours,
Trash
I've probably
Man.
got another 40 hours of gameplay on here. But is it really going to matter? And it's funny that everyone says, oh, you can upgrade your armor, and you can do this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm at the end of the game. I didn't need it. So what was it there for? Right?
See? Look, Armor Bros felted. He
It
made
really
it
does
that
kinda make me
far
scratch my
without
head,
upgrading his
because
armor.
I
So
don't know how someone
objectively,
could play the game
that
and
means
not
there is no
understand
point
what
to
I say when I
upgrading
say
the
it was
armor.
low.
Ignore
I
the
just don't
fact that
get
every
it.
time I get hit,
But
I
again,
lose
if
11
maybe this was the
hearts.
game that
I
you
made
sat
it
down
that
and
far
you were
without
just so
upgrading the
immersed in
armor,
the world of
so I
Zelda,
don't need
you
to
could
upgrade
play
my
the game
armor,
6 years
idiot.
painstakingly. When is this game coming out? Because I love Breath of the Wild so much, and I can't wait for the next iteration. It comes out, and everything you feel is fan service for you. Like every little town, every little tweak, every little thing, you know, was made just for you, specially. And you're really enjoying every moment of it, and it's the only thing you're playing, and you're having a great time. I get it. Like I said, I feel like if that's the case, if you have that feeling of unlimited time, unlimited resources, and you can sit and enjoy it, and it's all you're doing, this is probably the best open world game ever made. That's for you. But for me, that's not what I was going into it even
UNFW
wanting or
don't like this
expecting.
game in
Because I
about 2
knew
weeks.
that there were
I
other
feel like
games
he
on the
did
horizon in June that I was
content.
going to want to play for you guys. And I knew this is exactly what was going to happen. That at some point we were going to hit a series of time where I wasn't playing it a lot. And then I was like, well, do I really want to spend my time taking my time and make this a 3-month playthrough?
No.
Or do I want to just streamline it and try to get to these elements and continue on with progress, right? So,
You have
yeah,
a
like,
weird
to me,
word
I
perspective
can
on
understand.
progress. Even if you went the 3-month route,
For sure.
you're always making
Everyone
progress.
out there who's praising the game. All right, I get it. What I don't understand is why my opinion is not
correct.
valid. I'm being honest now. Like,
Yes, that's true, Slash. It
just
is a
because
YouTube
I'm
thing issue.
different doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It
You're
just means
different
that
in a lot
I'm
of
trying
ways.
to tell you from a different perspective how this
Wrong.
game could be viewed. From my
All right,
perspective,
I've taken
it
it
is
in your
a
perspective,
very good game.
and I've tossed it in
but
the
it's a game
trash.
that leaves a lot to be desired because the pacing's bad, because there's too much extraneous content that doesn't really have meaning.
This is
and
the
it seems
United
like
States of
everyone's
Digger,
solution, whenever
and
I
what
come
I
into
say
something that I'm
goes.
not liking about the game is, well, you should have spent more time on doing it. But my criticism is that the game already takes
You're
too
allowed
much
to speak
time.
from your soapbox.
And your answer
but it doesn't
is
mean I
spend
gotta
more
listen
time.
to you.
That's not an
Gag, gag.
answer. That just reinforces my criticism of the game, yet you're saying my criticism is invalid. That's what I don't understand. And I haven't seen a single person counter that. Besides, well, you should have went into this game with the mindset that you need to spend 100 hours. No.
No.
'Cause in
You
reality,
don't understand.
The story of the game isn't 100 hours long.
No,
You
wrong.
understand?
Incorrect.
It's not. It would be one thing if the game was like,
You went
here's
into
12
the
things you
game
have to do
thinking
on the
that
map
though
before you
that
beat
it would be a 100-hour
It takes
plot.
100 hours to do all 12 things. Then fair enough.
Schizo moment.
But no. There's 4 dungeons.
The argument from before
And then
in
there's
his
finale,
chat during the
and then, of
Prestream
course,
music
there's the
segment.
Tears of the Kingdom memories. Those are the real focuses of the game. Everything else in this world is extra.
It's getting to him.
Literally
He's
every
being
other thing is
gaslit.
extra. And you can beat the game without ever having touched
He's fighting
upon any
fire
of
with
them,
fire.
you
They
know?
dumped gas
And
on
then
him, so
if I
he's dumping the
criticize that,
whole
that's
gas
not fair.
station
Yes,
on
it
him in
is.
return.
People need to stop living in that one tunnel vision situation because, again, I used to be that. I used to be that kind of a person where I was tunnel vision. And if you didn't agree
You are
with me,
nitpicking and
you're
biased,
wrong.
Phil.
All right? All I want is for people to respect my opinion, whether or not you agree with it. Just respect the fact that there could be people out there who aren't in love with this game simply because they feel
I don't
like
need to respect
it's
shit.
too much. You know, it's
The
2023.
bare minimum is
We've
that
got
you
a lot
should
of
be
stuff
free
going
to
on in
share
our
your
lives.
opinion,
We've
and
all got
you've
a lot of
shared
stuff
it.
going on
It
where
doesn't
it
mean
shouldn't
I
be
have to
expected
respect it
that
or
every game
acknowledge
for you
it.
to enjoy it
You've
needs
put
to
out
be
your
a
shit take.
100-hour
There it is.
investment
There it is if
experience,
people want to look at it.
you know?
I
It's
certainly
funny
don't want
because
to
someone
or need
earlier in the
to,
stream
but there
chat
it
said
is.
this comment. They said, well, the reason
Uh-oh. He's referencing the
that
argument.
people are criticizing your playthrough is because in the past you would spend so much time doing all the meaningful content of a game and it would be a full-on playthrough, and this one you're not doing that. And I'm like, dude, I spent 40 hours in this game already and I still got at the minimum another 10 to even see the end, and you're telling me I didn't spend enough time in it. That's what kills me.
He picked the
Because
easiest
previously,
debunk from that
games
argument. This
weren't
guy
this long.
sucks.
Do you understand? It wasn't until last
There were some
console
better
gen that games
arguments
just
they've
went
made at
even
him.
It started to become possible on consoles.
He picked the easiest
And now
one
that
to
they
debunk
are,
live.
It seems like every game is willing to
It's
throw
'cause I'm
10
not
to the
like
ring.
that
Let's make a 80 to 100 hour game, and it's like, but why are we having every game be that experience? Every once in a blue moon, you could get a
Sway,
great game
sway,
that's maybe
sway,
100 hours.
wobble, wobble.
We don't need all these games to be this long. What it does, it takes away. It does. When you have that much, and especially a game like
Less
Zelda,
is
again,
more.
Zelda said you must complete these 12 things to beat the game. And by the way, they take 100 hours. Fair enough, then it's a 100-hour game. But Tears of the
How the
Kingdom
fuck
is not
does
a
he
100-hour
think
game.
less is
It's
more,
not a
but
50-hour
also
game, maybe
tell me
40
stuff,
if you
don't
streamline
show
it and know
me
exactly
stuff?
what to do, with 50 hours of extra content on top of that if you feel like doing it. But then, if you feel like you're having difficulty with the game or not enjoying it as much, the answer shouldn't be, well, you should have invested more time on the extra content. No.
No,
The base core
no,
game should have
no.
been better and explained itself better and had less stressful situations to be an enjoyable game if you don't wish to partake
I
in
love
the
when he goes,
optional
no,
content. You
no,
understand?
wrong, wrong.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's what I hear as he dumps all the
give me
gasoline
some
on me.
perspective. And I know I'm an old school gamer, and a lot of people
We haven't had any
won't understand this
perspective
reference.
yet.
Let's say you're playing a classic Final Fantasy game.
Oh,
Usually, when you're playing
Dude,
a
I love
classic
Final
Final
Fantasy.
Fantasy game,
I love that
you can play
series.
through the plot at a normal pace and beat the game just playing the plot. But usually, there's content along the way that's
Along
extra.
the way.
It's your choice if you wish to do that content or not. And if you do and you invest time in a side quest or side exploration or side dungeon, usually there's a challenging boss at the end, a super boss. And if you beat that super boss, you'll get a big reward, like a rare item or weapon or something
Hey, Hamilton.
that will now make you more powerful and make you like steamroll through the main game, correct? In Zelda, it's not like that. You understand? In this game, it's kind of like the side stuff is just there and you should be doing it anyway. But what if I'm just trying to play through the story? Well, too bad. You should have been doing all the side content too. Well, maybe I don't want to. Maybe I don't find enjoyment in it. Maybe
Alright, maybe I don't wanna watch your
got other things
playthrough.
I need to do, and I just want to enjoy
Why
the
don't
main
Nintendo
quest line,
fans watch
right?
my gameplay?
And the answer shouldn't be you should have dumped even more hours into the game to do the side stuff. That's never a solution. If you're having struggle or you're not enjoying the main stuff in the game, the answer is you should have dumped more time into it. That's not the answer. Sorry, it's just not. It should, it's what I mean. Like, side content, and it's optional and meaningful if you do it, if you really love the game, versus side content and it's just there, that's what you're doing to play the game, just to be necessary to advance through the game. I don't know. Anyway, I've now talked about Tears of the Kingdom for like 40 minutes. So I could literally go on forever and ever and ever and ever about this. I could. What's funny, I'm not even kidding you right now, Super Mario Sunshine fan says, the only side content that's basically necessary is the Great Fairy armor upgrades, which you didn't do. Yes, I did. First of all,
Yes, I did.
the game
Yes, I
never
did.
points
Yes,
them
I
out.
did.
You have to find them on
Yes,
your
I
own.
did.
Because they're based on a side quest through a stable, which never explains that that's what it is. Once you find
More
it,
in gasoline.
the first
That's
thing
why
you
I did
find
that.
out is,
I did that.
you need to gather
hey,
random
Grizzly.
components through random combat in the world to upgrade your armor. I had played like 30 plus hours by the time I found the first Great Fairy, and guess what? I didn't even have the components to upgrade a single piece of armor. So what's the solution? spend more time in the game grinding and doing combat, trying to find
You should have been doing the collecting
what are you talking
in those
about?
initial
No, that
hours
should not
before
be the
you got
solution.
to the stable.
That literally should not be the solution, to dump more time into the game I'm telling you is too bloated to begin with. That's never the solution. Elden Ring did get this criticism, Evil Ann. People just didn't listen to it. They wrote off my criticism of Elden Ring. By the final third of Elden Ring,
let's talk about another game.
Seems bloated. Seems
FromSoft
way too
fans, it's your
repetitive,
turn.
and runs out of
FromSoft
original
Defense
ideas.
Force.
I outright
FromSoft
said that in my
Defense Force.
review
Here
and
they
said
come.
It's not a Game of the Year slam hit. It's not the best FromSoft game ever. In fact, I thought Dark Souls 1 was better than Elden Ring. But you're funny, no one remembers that, right? No one remembers that. That I actually 100% criticized Elden Ring. No one remembers.
Yeah, you were wrong about that game,
too. They
too.
want to only selectively remember what they want. So, that's the funny part, too. Like, I can't make people stop being prejudiced against me. I can't make people actually listen to me. You have to listen for yourself and be a
why
logical
am I
human and
still
stop listening
getting
with the intention that
hate?
you just want to make me look bad. I've outright criticized other giant games like this as well, and people didn't listen to that criticism either. Okay? Anyway, in short, in summary, I do like Tears of the Kingdom. I just don't feel it's flawless. I think that it's a great game, but I feel like it's bloated and the pacing's bad. At this point, I'm actually happy that I'm going to start heading into the direction of the finale. That we're almost done with it.
Is that really something to say?
by the
I'm
end of this
happy it's
game,
almost
I probably
over.
will never have fought one of those optional three-headed dragon bosses. I probably will not have seen most of the optional dungeons and content. I probably will never go visit the Great Deku Tree of the Lost Woods or
Not gonna
half
go
of
to the
underground
Deku
content.
Tree.
And guess what? I don't
Thinking
need
that's
to,
side
'cause it has
content.
nothing to do with the game.
Nothing
It's
to
just
do with the
there
game.
for the sake of having more
Damn,
content
Deku Tree getting
that
fucked.
doesn't add to the actual experience of the plot. So I don't
He
care.
was so
I
excited when
just
he
wanna
found
see
those
the end of the
Gleoks
game
for
at
the
this
first
point.
time.
I've already spent 40 hours in it. I know it's probably going to be another 10 to beat it. That's
don't
enough
care.
Zelda for me.
I don't
need
care,
to have
man.
a 100-hour experience with Zelda.
My experience
I
of
just
Zelda,
don't,
for
especially
me,
when I'm playing
this is
other
good
games
enough.
that have my interest now, and I'd much rather play them. Just being honest. Like right now, if you were to ask me, would you rather play Zelda, Diablo, Final Fantasy, or Street Fighter? Probably I'd say Street Fighter #1 because I've been addicted to this game for the month. And
Yeah, that's
I'd
the
probably say,
that's the problem.
Probably Zelda
That's like
and
a
Diablo are
symptom.
about equal. Right now, I want to play more Final Fantasy 16 because I'm curious what the game's going to go. I don't know if it'll stay like that. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's basically like the back burner game balanced with other stuff for me. This is a game
That's actually not that
again,
bad. I thought he was
if
going to put it
released
at
a
the
time
bottom of the
year
totem
when there
pole,
was nothing
but he
else going
basically
on,
equated
and I
it to
played a
the
little bit more, I
to the
probably would've
other
liked it
lengthy
more,
game
right?
that he doesn't give
Or
a fuck about.
if it was a game that was more
And nobody
streamlined,
knows
didn't
why
have
he's
as
playing.
much of this open world bloat, rehashing stuff from the first game has no meaning.
He
in
likes
this
the game though, guys.
You know,
He
probably would
enjoys
have been
it.
better. I don't know. Play goals, does this mean you like Breath of the Wild more than this one? Well, I'd like to reserve that judgment till I beat it. What I'll tell you
Really?
is this. The gameplay mechanics of this one are better, but I feel like because of the fact that you're in the same world and there's so much bloat and nothing really feel like in the first game, everywhere you went, you were like a sense of wonder and awe. I discovered a new thing. Wow, Kakariko Village is in this one? That's cool. Ooh, the Lost Woods.
Save for
What's
the
the new
Benedict
version of the
boss
Lost
fight?
Woods in this one? Look at this, I
Ah.
can ride a dragon and get a cool thing. You know, there was all this stuff in that first game. And in this game, it's kind of like, well, you've already seen the dragons, you've already seen all the locations, you've already seen all of it. There's a little bit of a different twist. Where's the real wonder? Solving the physics puzzles in this one. Building things and solve. That's the wonder in this game. What's the creative way to use the physics in the building to solve puzzles and get around?
I guess you just
challenges?
have no
But outside of
imagination
that,
and
you've kinda, like,
creativity.
already seen
People
all
love the
this.
puzzles.
You know what I'm saying? So I do think that a lot of that wonderment's lost in this one. And does that mean it's worse? I don't know. Let me beat the game. Let me actually finish it because we're getting close to the end. Let me finish it, and then I'll honestly give you my summarized opinion once I beat it. But right now, yeah, I'll be honest. I might have liked Breath of the Wild more than this one. We'll have to see by the time that we're all said and
like the
done. I don't
worst
know right
kinda
now. I'd like
very
to
end.
actually, get to the end and see how it all ends and stuff like that. Okay. All right.
He's like those annoying motherfuckers that talk about soul
Let's get the
and
shout-outs,
artificial
because we're running out
soul,
of time,
forced
okay?
soul,
So,
manufactured soul.
a bunch of
Soul
super chats
isn't
came in all
real,
to the same
Bill.
person, someone called oh my god, Fallindiculus. Get it? Fallindiculus, like a phallus and a dick. Fallindiculus. Wow, that's a really hilarious name. So their first super chat.
Almost as hilarious as
They say,
Expand.
oh, one day you'll go back and do a Tears of the Kingdom
That guy's
redemption
stealing my
run
fucking
when your
shtick.
gaming schedule is less busy. I think you would really like it if you felt less pressure to make X amount of progress every stream. You do realize that will never happen. Like, when in my life will I be able to sit down and say, I have unlimited time to play this game? This is my job, you understand? Unlike anyone else where playing the video game is the thing outside of the job for enjoyment to unwind for the job, this is the job for me.
The game
So
is
there's always
superfluous
going to be me
their reality,
balancing things with other
whereas
stuff.
it is
There's
my
always going to be
reality.
me having time constraints of a stream.
It's
that
almost
literally
like
can't
he
happen.
plays
And I
games
think
to
that's one
have
of the points
fun.
I'm making is when
Oh, wait.
every game now is becoming 40 plus hours and every game has giant open worlds with optional content that's full of bloat that's not essential to the plot. This is what happens, is that you can't really fully enjoy those style of games. It's just not for a streamer or content creator like myself. You understand? I'm happy that I'm still able to enjoy the game as much as I have, because I really feel like if I skipped it entirely, I would have regretted it. So I'm happy that I'm playing the game and enjoying it for what it is. I really am. And I want to say thank you to those who've been respectful of my opinions, and thank you to those who are understanding of why I can't play it at, tons. A lot of people, oh, every streamer already beat this game. Yeah, take a look at how they beat it. When it came out, they literally played it for 2 weeks straight and beat it. Me, I was balancing a million other playthroughs like I always do, and like I say, I'm the jack of all trades, the master of none. I'm not just going to sit here and drop everything to play the same game for 2 weeks.
That's exactly what he wants the game to be. A jack of all trades, master of none.
I don't ever see myself
It
being
needs to
able
appeal
to just
to
sit
everyone,
down and be like,
and then in the
hey,
process appeal
I
to
could
no
just sit
one.
here and play Tears of the Kingdom non-stop for 100 hours for 2-3 weeks straight and never have an interruption, and everything's fine and no one's going to complain and we're good to go. Yeah, I don't think so. How would that ever happen, right? Okay, I got another super chat from Fallon Dickolis. Maybe a year or two down the road, you can play Tears of the Kingdom like you played your recent Skyrim and Oblivion playthroughs. Well, see, that's a different animal entirely. You're talking about not playing it as an ongoing real playthrough, but more of like a chill stream deal, extended period. I mean, that could possibly work.
That's different.
The thing is, I'm already kind of playing it as a chill stream. You understand? Like that's
No, we can't do that. That's only reserved for Bethesda games.
Playing this, do other
No.
stuff, you see?
No, I don't like that game
really
as much
feel
as I like Skyrim.
The Bethesda games, for some reason, they resonate with my audience. Whether it's an Elder Scrolls game, whether it's a Fallout game, they find.
Oh yeah,
a way to
Oblivion
resonate
really
with my audience, and
resonated with
there's
us,
a big
right?
fan base for that likes to tune into my streams of it. With Zelda, I just don't feel that. And the weird thing is, I love Zelda. It's not like I don't like the game, but I just don't feel like
Really?
people.
Yeah, I
who
got the
watch my
feeling you
content
really
have that
love the
same
game
kind of
from this
connection with
segment.
Nintendo as they do with Bethesda for some reason. I don't know.
Why
Maybe
do
it's
the
'cause my
Bethesda
earlier playthroughs
fans,
were a lot
the
of
Bethesda
stuff, I
Defense
don't know.
Force just loves Phil streams? I don't get it.
Phil and Dickolis did another super chat. Tears of the Kingdom is definitely bloated. The
This guy
bloat
needs
is
to
higher
fuck
quality
off.
than virtually every other open world game. That, arguably, you're correct. I'm literally not saying that the content of the game is bad. You ever noticed that, right? I haven't said, hey man, it's so bad.
You said it's
I just said it's
meaningless. It has
extra,
no
and
meaning.
It's not
It's
necessary.
superfluous to the game. It's not
Bloat
necessary.
doesn't
That's
necessarily
not
mean
negative.
Bad content.
Wow.
It just means so much content that you feel swollen and overburdened.
Swollen? Swollen.
That's really my best description of Tears of the Kingdom. I feel kind of overburdened.
The game
with
is
amount of
overexpanding
content that they've
itself
put
with the
into
amount of
this game for
swollen
me.
content it has. Yeah, bloat isn't a positive
Did
adjective.
another super chat. Says bloat isn't necessarily a negative word, and there you go. I have to agree with that. I'm not saying when I
You
say
hear that,
bloat,
Kit?
everyone immediately thinks
He
it's some
actually
kind of a
likes the
toxic
bloat.
negative comment. It's not. It's just think of it.
Oh
this
yeah,
way.
let me go call someone bloated in
Right?
real life. See how they respond.
You sit down at a restaurant to eat a delicious meal. They feed you course after course after course. Now, there's the main course. That's the most delicious part. It's super filling and amazingly delicious and amazing. You're glad you
This
had it.
fucking
But then there's
restaurant
all these other
analogy
things. There's
from the- before
appetizer,
the pre-stream
there's palate
started.
cleansers coming in. There's bread, delicious bread with butter over here.
People
You
slap
wanna
them with
partake in that
the
too.
fucking
What happens is
restaurant
you're partaking
analogy,
so
and
much
he
in the meal, you're bloated now.
exploded. He's
And you
the
gotta
only
deal with
one that can make restaurant
after
analogies. You
feasting.
cannot
And that's
give
kinda how I
him a
feel like
restaurant
there's great
analogy,
stuff in this game
especially one
everywhere, in
that
every
makes more
direction.
sense
The
than the
problem
ones
is
he
by the
ditches
time that
out.
You get through it all, you feel so bloated because it took so long to get through, right? Now, what if you're someone who's on a time constraint? You have an appointment after dinner. you have to get to. But instead of them feeding you the delicious entree that you're waiting for,
Why
they
did you
keep
go to
bringing you
dinner before your
appetizers, palate
appointment?
cleansers, bread and filler, and they're not giving
You're not
you the main
supposed to
course.
eat before
I need to get
appointments.
to
The
main
doctor
course.
says
I'm gonna
not
be
to do
late
that.
for my appointment.
This is not reality.
That's
This
how
is
it
not
feels playing Tears of
reality.
the Kingdom for me. Not everyone's gonna feel like that at all. A lot of people will feel completely different. That's how I felt the whole playthrough almost. Seriously.
Wow. Man,
You keep feeding me good things. I'm not unhappy with the good things you're feeding me, but you keep feeding me good things and not giving me what I came for, the main course. And I need to go. I gotta leave.
I heard
Ready?
this shit about Cuphead too. Remember this shit? Wait, what did he say? The disappointing
All right,
last course.
Now we move to the tip side of things.
Ah, yeah. All right, move on.
I have a $2 tip. That's anonymous.
A
Thank you for
disappointing
$2
dessert.
Anonymous tip, whoever that was. Okay.
I hate the food analogies so much. Is it gotta be like this?
What I will say is this, just thanks to anyone who respects it, my opinion. You don't have to agree. I'm trying to be very respectful to everyone who disagrees with me. Listen, you have the right to do that. Absolutely you do.
He's being so
If you love the
respectful,
game,
guys.
you love
I
the
feel
game.
so
I
respected.
like it. I don't love it. You know? But if you love the game, I respect your opinion. I certainly believe that you're probably in a very different position in life than I am.
No, he's not
that you can sit
sugarcoating
there and
it.
enjoy
Yeah,
it
that's
at
right.
length
Yeah.
as much as you
No,
have.
I need
I'm
to
glad
go. I
you
need to
did
get
it.
out of here.
And maybe you're right.
I need to
Maybe
go.
if
I need
was
to go
a
have my
different person
operation.
In a different
I'm
perspective,
eating, even though
I
I'm having an
absolutely
operation. I got an
positively would've
appointment.
liked-
The doctor
would be
told me
liking
not
the
to
game
eat, but I'm
more.
eating.
But that's my perspective. I'm sitting in a fine dining restaurant and they just keep feeding me small finger foods rather than feeding me the entree, but I've got to go. And I'm enjoying my stay, but my God, I'm getting pressure. My people are texting, blowing up my phone. You got to go, man.
No one
You got an
fucking
appointment to
texts
get
you.
to. And I'm like, but I'm still eating my delicious Zelda meal. I got it's not ending yet. I'm 40 hours in. The meal continues.
Why aren't you
And they're
ending?
Like,
You
no,
still haven't told
move
me.
on.
You want me to
There's
make your
other
game
things
for
outside
you?
The restaurant you need to experience. Like, no, the meal, it's still coming. I swear there's a big Goron steak coming. I need to eat the Goron steak.
Doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Charles says tapas. They keep feeding me tapas foods and not bringing me the main course. Where's the main course?
back to
Right?
food.
I received a $1 tip. What's up, Arkham? How you doing? So someone took me $1 and they're asking a ridiculous question like, what are you gonna do after you're done with YouTube and all of that, because you don't have any 401k or retirement or anything? Well, first of all, you have no idea what I have, right? You don't. You're assuming. I mean, I had no money when I had a bankruptcy 3 years ago. The good news is, you know, I'm hoping to maintain and get better and improve my position over the years, and hopefully
Don't tell us
eventually
about a lot
I
of
will be
things.
able to be putting stuff aside if I'm not already,
You've
which
really
is none
been
of your
grudging for
business if I am
assuming.
or not. But like I said,
But you don't, so don't
definitely
pretend like
with
you
what
do.
I've seen, it seems like no matter what I do on YouTube, I know that I have a fan base. It doesn't matter if we're playing a video game, if I'm doing a podcast.
Okay,
where
well, they're
I'm
not asking
ranting
about your
a
fan base,
topic
they're
or
asking
talking
about your
news
401k
or
that you
whatever.
don't have.
If I'm doing React style
Hip-hop
content
premise.
now, which has now become a part of my repertoire, or if
I
we're
thought we
just
were
kinda
living
chilling and
paycheck
doing
to
Q&A,
paycheck.
Like no matter what I'm doing, I've got a fan base, and that fan base likes me and likes my content.
Okay,
and
but
supports
that's
it.
like a segue.
So even though you might argue, okay, well, you're 41, you're getting older. Well, how long will we be a YouTuber? Well, I don't have to be a gamer.
It's not
YouTuber.
related.
I could do anything.
It's not
on
relevant
YouTube.
to the question.
Or another site. All the competition that's been popping up recently. I could do this. Essentially, you know, my life. You know,
No.
and one day, of course, you always have that expectation.
No,
that
people
maybe
don't
one
want
day
to
I
watch
can
a
retire,
60-year-old
and
replay
I'll have enough of a
Skyrim
nest egg
for the
or whatever
7th
that I
time.
don't have to make daily content anymore. That would be great to be able to actually, you know, retire a bit and spend time with
If
my
only there
wife,
was
but,
some deal
you know,
you were
that's
off
something
it,
to think about
or
for the
you
future. I'm
could've
only a few years
not
removed
maybe
from a
make all your
bankruptcy.
problems go
I've got
away,
to
but like
maintain the
most of
course.
your
I've got to
problems
keep
go
going,
away,
plugging
the
away,
immediate issues.
keep doing the
And if
things
only there
better
was
than I
some
used
sort
to,
of offer
right?
you had.
And essentially get myself
that
to
you
a more
tossed
financially
away.
feasible, healthy position. And once I'm there, right, and I get a credit that's built back
I'm
up,
retiring
and
a
I can
bit.
do some
No,
things
no, you don't
with
retire a
financing and
bit.
stuff
You just
that'll
retire.
make my life better. And once I get to that point, then you start thinking about, do I want to change it up? Do I not want to be a full-time
only
gamer
hope so,
anymore?
Rummy.
Do I want to diversify my time, do different kinds of content, reach out and do different collaborations and things? Right
He
now is
falls
not the
asleep
time
in the
for
chair
that.
one night.
Right now, things,
while
you
he's
know, I gotta maintain the course of what I'm doing.
He doesn't edit.
And I've
He's
already,
uploading a video. Maybe he just
kind
doesn't
of
wake
struck
up.
out this year.
Cat
or
never
reached out
notices,
this year
like,
with new content.
His
trying
skin
something new with
emerges with
React,
the
which
fibers of the
you know,
chair.
it's there. It's slow.
They find him, like,
but
a
it's
couple
still
weeks
existing
later.
And it is profitable. I feel like in time
He's
it
just
will
fucking
grow and get
melted,
better. It's
molten
something that
into
I
the
have to get better
chair.
at and find better content
Skin
for over
fused
time,
into
right?
the chair there.
But to me, it's just like
Mouth open, drool.
from what
Lungs flying out of
my
it.
perspective. I'm not like, oh well, I just have to quit YouTube.
Mouth
Like, that's
lopsided
crazy. No, but
'cause he's got the
potentially,
stroke
like
mouth.
I've told you guys, I've enjoyed being my own boss for so long. I absolutely, positively
Jasper's
could be
eating half of
someone
them.
who
Now wait a
continues
minute.
to make content of some capacity forever. It just doesn't have to be a full-time capacity, right? Instead of being the guy who's here 6 days a week full-time playing video games and podcasting, I could be the guy who part-time is doing discussion
I say
shows
we
and
sign him up for
podcasting
more
and
credit
current
cards.
events and news discussions, and maybe every once in a while casually dabbling in a video
Casually
game here or there
dabbing.
that I really
That's what I
enjoy,
do on this
but
guy
it's
every
not
day.
necessarily
Ag.
my full-time thing forever. You know what I'm saying?
Dabbing.
But again, you know, those things. Here's what I found. If you are someone who
I'm
can
just
sit down at any
casually
point in your
dabbing.
life and you can look and say, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, here's my plan and I'm sticking to it, you are living a life of luxury. You're living a life of insulation. For the vast majority of my life, I have never known what was going to be happening in just a year or two, let alone 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Take a look at my life. Just look back 5 years before
We
today,
opened
right?
talking about how this
different
was
and
a troll
tumultuous my life
question.
was. Another 5 years. Every 5 years, my life is completely changed.
I know you're bullshitting, but
So
I'm gonna
how
answer
anyone
it
has
seriously.
This crazy luxury of saying I'm gonna plot out my life, and in 20 years I'll have a 401k that's fully
10-year plan?
funded. I'll be able to
10-year
retire
plan?
nicely and not make
10-year
YouTube
plan
videos
to
and do that.
Linda Burnell?
That's a crazy luxury.
10-year
in life.
plan?
Seriously.
20-year
you're
plans are a
lucky
luxury.
if you're able to do that. Be happy that your parents probably provided you with financial stability in your youth.
We shitting
so you
on
could get an
Linda and Dave
education,
now.
you could go out
Linda and
get a
Dave
big
did not
job,
provide
and
you
you
with
could have a family
everything.
right away, and you
They couldn't give you
stability
the
and all
whole
that.
world, so
A
they
lot of
fucking
people on this
failed you.
planet don't have that. I've
kinda did.
never had that. In my entire life, I've never had that stability. It's always something fluctuating, uncertain, weird, and different. I didn't choose that life. That's the life that I stumbled into, and the cards that I was dealt, and I'm just doing the best with what's handed to me. You understand? I wish that I could tell you that, yes, I have a 20-year plan that by the time I'm in my early 60s, I have a fully funded 401k and I could stop making YouTube videos entirely and ride off into the sunset of retirement. It's not possible.
Please
right
ride off
now.
into the sunset.
Long term,
and
yes,
never
maybe.
Come back.
Right now,
fly
I'm just
into the
trying
sun.
to get to
That'll
the
be
point
better.
where I'm stable every month. I'm paying all of my stuff. I'm not behind on anything, and I have enough flexibility so that if something goes wrong, like my car breaks down or my fucking tire gets stolen, right? Or I get something breaks in the house, or a
Tire.
piece of equipment breaks. I need to quickly replace
still
it.
haven't
Then
gotten
I
over
have the
the tire.
flexibility to do that right away. Once I'm to that point, then you can look and say, oh, maybe now I have a little bit extra every month I could put aside for something, right? But right now, I wish I had that. I'm not even to that point of just even Steven before I can start looking to say, oh, there's extra to put aside now. Do you understand? Okay, I hope that makes sense.
No, it went in 1 year and out the other. Moving on. He's reading. Rug gears churning. Rug gears churning.
Well, I've got another dollar tip. This doesn't even make sense. Since you're crowdfunded, you have to always depend on people, even if you stop playing games. What could you do to make money for yourself, but also not have to be crowdfunded?
That
Nothing.
makes sense to me.
Literally everything in life is crowdfunding. Literally everything. But if you have your own business, you rely on the customers to come fund your business and buy your product. If you work for a company, you rely on that company to provide a workplace and employment. But if you have your own business, literally everything in life is crowdfunding.
I wish that were true.
Literally everything. But if you have your own business, you rely on the customers to come fund your business and buy your product. If you work for a
I
company,
like the disingenuousness here, like the conflation of what it means to crowdfund something or someone.
you rely on that company to provide
It's
a workplace
semantics!
and employment and work to do. Everything is always dependent on something else. There's literally nothing on planet Earth that's 100 dependent on yourself.
Something's gotta give.
Doesn't exist. Unless you're a hermit and you live in the fucking woods and you're chopping the trees down.
I try not to pause.
Off the tree.
Can you believe I haven't paused up to now?
To be there and stay healthy, and the squirrel to be there to eat. It just
This is
doesn't
the
exist.
straw
You're living
breaking
a
the
fantasy
camel's
life.
back, man.
Really.
What is this?
You're living a fantasy world. Doesn't exist. What you're saying is a myth perpetrated by people who like to feel safe on this planet, when in reality there's no such thing as safety, because at any moment the sun could go supernova and we're all dead. So there's no safety. Space aliens could come down and liquefy us all with a gun in 5 seconds. There's nothing we can do. In life, nothing's certain. No safety. Stop that ridiculous feeling right now. Oh, but what are you going to do to insulate yourself? You can't insulate yourself, ever. Doesn't exist.
Hey, Benjamin. Ah, yes, I am
Grim
an
River did a super
apathetic
chat.
boomer.
If I get a Nintendo Switch, which Zelda game should I go with? I might get a Switch. I might even get an Xbox One X for Starfield. Man, I would start with Breath of the Wild. And if you really like Breath of the Wild, then get Tears of the Kingdom. Seriously, that would be my suggestion. Generic fan says Final Fantasy 16 Pillow Talk bad, but Ishin Bathhouse okay. Yes. Anyway.
What do you want him to say to that? Whatever. Whatever. We get the point with that. We get the point with that. That was funny. He had nothing to say to that. Whatever. Next one.
7 did a super chat, says go to Kick. I don't see any reason to go to Kick. I enjoy being on YouTube and having my audience here.
Let's
I
make
have
YouTube an
absolutely no
archive again.
aspirations to blow
95-5 split on Kick,
which it seems like everyone who's running to Kick is exactly what they want. Oh, the Twitch party's over. Run to Kick. That's
okay. So we hate Twitch and we want Twitch to die, and Twitch is a fossil, and nobody is gonna stream on Twitch anymore. And we're falling for all the astroturfing about Kick, and we're saying all the people to go to Kick, but actually the people who go to Kick are just as bad as Twitch themselves. The winner is me, the fence-sitting centrist with no opinions.
the new land of milk and honey, where you can do whatever you want and make big bucks. Why do I need to do that? I'm not looking to do that. I'm not gonna ever get.
You're
virally
living
popular
paycheck
on
to
Kick or anywhere
paycheck.
else. I'm happy being who I am with the audience I have. I'm not being complacent. I'm being a realist. These people who jump from trend to trend, this is what they're doing. They're just trying to stay on top of this big money making.
Yeah,
game.
you
To them,
kickers,
that's what it is. It's a
you
game.
kickers.
Get the bag. That's not what this is.
You just
for
want
me.
the bag.
It's not get the bag. If
You're
it was get the bag, I would
bandwagoning.
have taken every money making opportunity I was presented. And if you
I'm
haven't
not being
noticed, I
complacent.
turned down
I'm
a
just
lot
being
of-
real.
You see?
Yeah, we calling out Asmongold yesterday. Oh, he's just waiting for his exclusivity deal. I think you might want to deal yourself, pimp. Look how sleepy he is. Give me time.
Kick is a new competitor to Twitch streaming.
And
I don't know too much about them because I haven't really looked into it because I'm not looking for a competing streaming service to stream on. Am I planning on giving the Texas Chainsaw game a try on Game Pass in August? I don't know. If it's on Game Pass, I might, but if it's just like Friday the 13th, probably not. Been there, done that. The 4v1 survival game is kind of played out at this point, I feel. So. Yes, of course I played Metal Gear Solid 3. Alright, guys, it's time to end the show before we go too late. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, some people at the very least now at least understand my perspective on Tears of the Kingdom and will hopefully respect it. I'm not saying you have to agree with it. I'm just saying I hope you respect it. Because I've been in a lot of disrespect recently in regards to the playthrough. It's like, I don't remember playing the game and really slamming it and saying it's bad.
respect is earned.
You know, I don't necessarily remember any of these things that people are reacting to in a way that it feels like it should be. I should get this level of vitriol against me, just because I'm saying I'm not in love with the game and it's a masterpiece, like a lot of people
If
have
they're
said.
synonymous.
I don't get that. Why am I not entitled to my own opinion? It just seems like there's a lot of nastiness on the internet right now.
The absolute minimum you are owed by the laws of this lovely land is that you are able to speak your piece, to speak your mind. Anything above that is a bit too much.
It is what it is. You know, you sign up for that when you're a content creator, but just abnormally for this playthrough, which is really, really weird in my opinion. So hopefully now you at very least understand where I'm coming from, and understand that as I play this game and I continue, I'm going to be focusing on main story development and finishing it. And I'm pretty much now that I'm going to do the rest of, you know, the Tears of the Dragons plotline. Once that's done, that's pretty much where the side content ends with me. And I'm going to do my absolute best to continue you know, with the playthrough would wrap up the main story. So, okay, guys, thank you so very much for a great podcast. So
exactly,
far.
Knock.
And
he's not owed shit.
Thank you for watching. Tomorrow,
He can say whatever
we're
he
going to be
wants.
swapping over to
But
some Street Fighter
we don't
Fun,
owe him anything.
and I'm sure that's going to be a little different, right? But that's pretty cool that every day we can have a different kind of show, right? So thank you so for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and peace out. Okay.
Caught up after a phone
Alright,
call. I did
guys.
2 weeks straight to complete
Let's get
tiers.
set up. I
Philip
do have to
doesn't
pee before we
play
start,
enough
but
per
outside
day.
of that,
Let's get behind.
I'm pretty much ready to go. Like
Yeah,
I said,
I
we
figured
actually ended
it
on a
was,
big
2 weeks with
cliffhanger
you.
here. Playing Final Fantasy the other day, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Will there be another boss fight? Because
I picked
I'm out of items.
the
Like, I
best
spent
day to
everything on that
Restream.
2v1
It
boss.
was actually relevant
just
to
do cutscenes
me.
or something to
Reeee.
resolve what's
I
going on.
imagine if
I'm
it
not
was just
sure.
2 more hours talking about Street Fighter. Like, what the fuck would I comment on? But this was a meaningful Restream to me. And then we
Let's
had
see
that
here.
bit where everything
sent
in
you.
life is crowdfunded.
think
If
I
you
am.
think
I look
about
good,
it,
right?
if you think
I sent
about
it
it,
here.
and actually
The camera?
don't think about it too hard, because then it's gonna fall
It's always
apart.
hard to tell certain color schemes. I think that's centered now. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, cool. All right, just real fast. Oh, Jade says, I'm happy to see Final Fantasy 16. He wants to see the wolf again. Torgal, right? Yeah, Torgal. Torgal's been really good in combat, that's for sure. All right, really briefly, I'm going to just use the restroom.
Yeah, it looks like
I'll be
Aquatiel's
right back, and then we're gonna start
he's already
with
working
Final
on the
Fantasy. All right, I'll
full
be right
rant
back, guys.
re-upload. Well, we've muted the mic, so I no longer hear the AC, but I still got the capture card buzz. Ah, yes, I love Mario Party DS. Alright, I had a little bit of skip juice. Let's click the live button. No, he's still gone! This right here, this sucks. Well, how are you guys doing? You like the pre-stream? Good night, Mr. Expand. Good night, Chad. Third shift light. Thanks for showing up, Zidros LC. I should have paused more. I think I'm gonna go for a little ride. Thanks for the coverage, Tinker. See everyone later on. Take care, guys. I'll see you later, Shabon. I will be live on Twitch later tonight with Clock Tower. I got the bad ending last time. Dude, everyone loved it. They loved me getting scared by the Scissor Man. I've never played it before. I wasn't expecting a point-and-click situation with tank controls. Now, it doesn't get much more archaic than that, right? And the whole playthrough, look, I hate to be the time warden after a segment like the one we just watched, but my time was pretty much not respected. My time was wasted. It was wasted time. I spent like 2 hours on that game, going through 2 scenarios, and it pretty much didn't matter, because the playthrough was rendered null and negative and toxified from the first response I answered. I told that guy, do you want to leave the statue with the guy, or do you want to leave it with Rick? And I don't even know who Rick is, so I just pick Rick. And Rick never appears later on in the game. He doesn't even exist. He's not real, he's not official, he's not licensed, he's not on this plane of existence. So, I do 2 scenarios in that stream. I finished the second one, it's like, oh, well, we never found Rick. There was no way to find him. The game didn't offer me an opportunity to go look for him or find out who the fuck he is. So we just never found Rick after I gave this statue to Rick. And Rick just has the statue. And I'm not even playing the same character anymore. So it's like, okay, game's over. The Scissor Man kills you. It's like, you know how in Choose Your Own Adventure games, where you make the wrong choice, like, Dragons, the guy with, the game with Dirk the Darren. In that game where you make a choice and you die instantly, it's like that happened in Clock Tower, but before I got the death scene and the game over, the game kind of let me play. It let me play it for 2 hours before telling me, actually, the choice you made was the wrong one. But I liked it.
Alright.
Well, I am a sucker for survival horror.
You settled in here, everybody.
Yeah, I know
We're
the
gonna
end
go.
video's out. We're gonna look at it. Yeah, Dragon Slayer. I was thinking, it was in my head. It was like, is it Dragon's Dogma? Dragon's Dawn? Dragon's...
I'm serious.
What? Who got banned?
Literally, I just talked an entire podcast about my Zelda experience. He goes, oh, Phil doesn't enjoy Zelda at all. All right, goodbye.
All right, goodbye.
If you want to spread
Bye.
misinformation, you can do it somewhere else. Not on
Bye,
my
ban.
stream. Thanks. Instead of being
Get out of
an
here.
asshole
I don't even want to
and
argue.
saying falsehoods that then people will believe and start talking junk. So I'm not going to put up with your bullshit anymore. Enjoy your ban. Nice try, though. Because you didn't know that I was here. You didn't know that I'd come back from the bathroom. And he's like, oh, I know. I'll say something when he's not here. I'm so sly. Yeah, you're sly, all right.
You're sly. Me.
Oh, it's definitely worth banning. In fact, I should do worse. Whoa, that loaded so fast. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's the power of the PS5.
So, by the way, I need to up the volume, I believe, right? I think I maximize the volume when I play this game. But, dude, that loaded instantly. That was 100% instant loading.
It's too used to playing Zelda. Things need to take like 2 minutes to load.
Okay,
No!
are we ready to continue?
No, we're not.
Are we ready to continue? I hope
Alright,
so.
I have only one thing I want to quote-unquote cover, and then you guys get to go home. I'd raid Rydrake, but YouTube fucking sucks, and you can't do that.
Excuse me.
I need like 1,000 subs.
No more Xbox? No, we're not playing on Xbox today. This is PlayStation.
Yeah, I bet you wish it was on Xbox. You had some complaints
Texas
about this
Chainsaw
game not being on
different, 43
Xbox.
humans and 3 killers, but it has similarities to Friday. Then I'm probably not interested. Okay. All right,
Should
here
have
we
said
go.
that. Should not have clarified that. The more you explain games
Alrighty,
like that to
everyone,
him,
welcome back
the
to
less
Final
likely it
Fantasy
is for him to
16.
play
In
it.
fact, I should probably get rid of this leaderboard. No, I think we didn't have this.
Alright, that's enough
Years
for me.
ago,
Let's
I
take
racked
this
up my
out.
credit cards when
Alright, a reminder of how DSP operates with credit cards. A reaction to DSP's credit card reaction.
Years ago, I racked up my credit cards when I first moved out here to furnish the house, and then, as you guys know, so many things happened over the years with trolling in 2015, the adpocalypse last year. I basically had to keep racking up my fucking credit cards, which I didn't want to do. But what I would do is I would use the credit card that has like the promotional rate of 0% for a year and a half. Then when that expired, I would transfer it to another credit card that had a promotional rate for a year and a half. Well, guess what? In 2018, all the promotional rates ran out. So credit cards that I was paying 0% interest on now went to 15% interest, and my credit card payment doubled again. So not only did the feds raise the interest rate, all my interest went up again, compounded.
Sounds like
so
they caught
I was
on
at
to
a
you.
good level, but because people will not stop fucking with me, all right? They fuck over my opportunities for sponsorship. They fuck over my YouTube channel and my YouTube ad revenue. They try to fuck me on Twitch and get me banned. They try to fuck me every which way possible. I keep losing money, and because of that, I can't keep up with all the obligations that I have, all right?
Obligations. Oh, that was a great, nice, succinct video. It went straight to the point. Big ups, and for the throwback, the callback. Hey, AI SpongeBob. 76,008 days. Funding secrets exposed? Major game changer. 76,008 days. Credit funding secrets. The credit union advantage. I might have to check this out later. I mean, hey, Biden. Joe Biden featuring Donald Trump. I miss you. Blink 182 AI. We hate AI. Hey, look, this guy. We're gonna watch this documentary again. All right. That's it for me. I don't wanna do gameplay. You're not tricking me into doing gameplay. Not after last time. I will be live on Twitch later. And there's no Frogga today, so you're stuck with Rydrake. Or I think Meerkat is live. I can't raid. I'm sorry, guys. I can't raid. You already know this. That's why you need to tell your friends, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your dinger, tell your mom, tell your uncle, tell your dogger, tell your uncle's brother, cousin, son. Tell everyone about the Expand Dong channel. No, we're not doing gameplay. We're not doing gameplay. We're really not doing gameplay if it's Final Fantasy. But we'll see you on the next one. We're gonna play it out. Where's the thing? Here it is. Oh wait, no, that's the BRB scene. You didn't see that. No, I don't want to do the boss. The stream's over. Yeah, it's just a BRB scene. You didn't see nothing. You saw nothing. But big ups to the swollen ones who made it to the end of the YouTube style stream, like Coggers, Mr. Bun, Ann, Lee, Cerulean, Grizzly, Peaches, Knock, Yellow Monkey, Big Ben, Slash, Rummy89, Tribot, Zitros LC, Retro, ENFW, Olem, Trash Man, Line, Lane, Red Animator, Ian, Algernon. I think I got everyone. Peaches again. Bugged C mechanics. I agree. And O. Alright, big ups. Be live on Twitch later. Go to Rhydrake stream. Yeah, we're gonna do a fake Rhydrake raid. Where's this fucking stream at? Make Rhydrake watch the boss. Rhydrake has a PS5. He doesn't want anybody to know that though. I know he's playing games, but like fuck that. Tell him we need to see this boss. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bayshot, you missed the stream. I don't want to watch gameplay. You can make Rhydrake watch the gameplay. Tell him, Rhydrake, there's a big boss coming. That'll be the raid message. Fake Dingus raid, big boss coming. That's all I got. That's it. It's done. DSP's mic died. Now you there you go. There's your fake raid message. Rhydrake, you need to tune in. His mic died. His mic died. You need to tune in. You need to tune in right now. Just like me. And I'll see you over there. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.